Allow the children
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight again. Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun today.
Ó sì tún ṣe é wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Calm down, get body test.
Àní Maiyegun.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Dódódódó.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. All right? And share the broadcast, please. Dun, dun, dun.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
27.5 trillion naira is Kolu's 2024 budget. When you take a dive into looking into it, you will realize that you see that your Shege Banza, the one that you are been kind of feeling the last 6 months, it's about to be official. Shege, Bansa 2024. In a prayer you sabi, you better begin the prayer. I'm like, kikon. If na jackpot you want to jackpot, you better begin to get serious with it. Just don't borrow money or sell your properties to jackpot. Amen. Motivate. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Okay, this is Maiyegun live, and happy new week to all of us. Okay, so if you have taken your time to read the caption of the broadcast, the description, okay, and you have also liked the broadcast, don't forget to share it. Now, on MaiyegunsDiary Politico tonight, as we always do, we're going to be taking them batch by batch. But there is something I want to remind you of, which I kind of love to, sort of the lens I love to use in seeing things. The trending topic on the side, apart from the Shege of Tinubu and gang, is that of who founded Lagos. Those who removed history from our curriculum in Nigeria or even any part of Nigeria, they gave room to serious, versions of history. But there are some certain things that are more factual than the others. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And remember this, when you are talking about history, history is very harsh. And most of the people that are projected as heroes, our heroes past, you will discover that, they did some bad things just for them to survive their own era. That is why when you read history, okay, you don't try to become the prisoner of your history. You learn from history so that if time and nature bestow upon you to also leave something, it will be an improved version of what you learn from your own ancestors. A lot of people learn history or read history just to validate their sort of, personal weakness. And these are people who can easily go on endless tirade, abusing themselves, attacking themselves on who is more supreme or who is not, when it comes to ethnic conversation. A lot of Nigerians who read their history, it is either what they will learn from it is the revenge of what happened to their ancestors, or the supremacy, the triumph of their own ancestor over the other. And at the end of the day, it's just like it continue like a vicious circle. I love to read. I love reading history, okay? But when I read history, whether it is my own ancestors' history or the history of others, and all over the place, what I tend to look for is the lesson from what they did well or what they didn't do well. But I hope you have the same, you have the same sort of a composure too, because a lot of people don't even see it as anything wrong. They call it self-preservation. Meanwhile, It is like projecting their own weaknesses, their fear, hiding it behind ethnic supremacy. We are superior than you. We enslaved you. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, we are. Meanwhile, everyone is existing in a sort of a phase in a country where those identities are only existing just for that bragging, whatever it is, nothing else. None of it is really respected in the scheme of things, as a country should be. When people cherish their own ethnic nationality so much that you forced over 200 ethnic nationalities together, people who speak over 500 languages without them agreeing to be together. Do you get what I mean now, right? So that's what that is left with, you know. But when it comes to Nigeria, everybody is in the same basket of the victim of a rigged, rotten system that doesn't represent anyone. So when you read your history, I implore you to please learn from it. Pick a lesson, not a revenge, not a triumph that makes you feel so superior to the other when in reality you are not. Do you get that? When you look at the Northerners, for example, there is this mental, psychological belief that in the scheme of things in Nigeria, as a Northerner, they are more advantageous, but it's not true. Sure, you get. The reason why it is not true is because in the scheme of things, every part of Nigeria is marginalized by the supposed people who also came from the all part of Nigeria. So your tribe, your nationality, and the rest of them, they don't really matter in the scheme of things. And if you want them to, and that is why you have to watch MaiyegunsDiary, Politico, things of value that you have to really know that, oh, we don't have that anymore. We used to be like this, but we don't anymore. Why? This is why. How do we get that back? By rejecting what they forced on you. So history, when you read it, things, whether in the recent past, in the ages past, the best you pick from it is going to be the lesson from it. What did they do wrong? What did they do right? How did they do it? And here you are today. What would you like to do different? Do you want to inherit enemies? Do you want to feel better than the others when in the real sense you are not? Anyway, I just thought I should give you that little TED talk, okay? Everybody will still take care of their own belief. That is what I've come to learn myself. A lot of people will try to think that they can really influence the mind of the people to what they want them to think. But from my own experience, it is when people want to let them, or when the people want that in and they allowed it in, is when you are able to influence their mind, their thoughts, and all of that. So without them wanting to, you can talk and shout from now till the end of the century. They will still do what they will do. And that is from my own experience. So even though from my own experience too, I have had people who have been able to manage sort of their own thoughts. They've been able to use happenings around them, right, to make vital decisions that are not laced with emotional and every other, nonsense. By all means. And I'm grateful too. I'm grateful for that, by the way, as they are. But mine is this. I prefer to look at actions than words. Because words are free. They're like hair. They are free. And there are people gifted with words. And among them, in fact, top of the list are the politicians. A lot of them are very good with words. And that is why they say Politicians are all talk, no action. So if you really want to, if you are really interested in what is going on and how much they affect you, you should begin to look beyond just words and their actions. And by their actions, you can easily tell the vast contrast between what they are saying and what they are doing. And if you are living in such country, if you understand this danger, you are never going to be comfortable. You will speak out, you will push it, you will scream and all of that, even when their ignorant supporters continue to try to shut you down. But when you see the danger, I mean, not words, actions. That's what I do. And to my own not so much surprise, I discovered that the criminals who are destroying Nigeria, dividing Nigerians, these guys actually come from every part of Nigeria, united in their actions against the rest of Nigeria. And Nigerians themselves are sort of divided according to their loyalty or sort of admirability or so of their own thief up there. Here you get. And that is why if you really, really, really want to understand, you are going to look beyond just words. You cannot say you are trying to lift people out of poverty and you are budgeting for 5 billion for education in the whole country. And at the same time, you are borrowing over 400 billion naira to rebuild and renovate houses of president, vice president, buy cars for the lawmakers, and the rest of that. To me, even if you are crying, that you are very sad. And God, I will be right back. I think something just popped up on my screen, and I'm going to need to deal with that just before we continue. Okay? Give me a sec.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please.
I don't know. There is this new setting on my broadcasting software. So it picks a voice and it picks sort of a signs, and it will just turn them to something like an emoji. Like, that moment I said, even if you are crying, don't let me do that again. When I said, even if you are crying, telling people that the state of education in Nigeria is so bad that you feel so sad. You are so teary and crying. And people are like, oh. Then it is time for you to make decision in fixing that. Where you have to use your pen and your sense, Abi, and you decided to budget 5 billion naira for the whole country. You signed that in order to make education better. And same you signed over 400 billion to buy cars, renovate houses, and the rest of that. So you see, your tears won't really mean anything to me. Shouldn't mean anything to anybody. And that's why I said, if you pay attention to their actions, they say more than what they say. And you can easily tell where this is headed. Before I go into the your budget of a renewed Shege. May I explain that to you a little bit before we begin to dig deeper, okay? You see, you remember Soludombu? Abi, somebody said it's Solu Fraudu, the former central bank governor that recapitalized banks in Nigeria so that they could meet the economic sort of a rebasement of Nigeria at the time. And afterward, he became governor of Anambra. The people of Anambra probably felt so lucky, like, yes, finally, somebody who actually understands economy and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, cut the long story short, when Soludombu became governor in Anambra, he was appointed by Bokuwari into his economic team. Now, his economic team of Bokuwari were those who were advising Bokuwari on Buharinomics. Remember, the one that, that bankrupted Nigeria. Anyway, some people came in defense of Soludombu because Soludombu later came out and said he's now part of a team Tifnumbu. In defense of Tifnumbu, the Nigeria that Bokuwari ran, a total disaster. They are saying that after he's gone. Okay? Same thing with Eleyi of Ogun, the dubious Dakpo. I'm coming back to that one. I have something to say, but more first stop by and hear Soludombu defending Kolu. Please.
Kept printing money, literally. Because when you advance money that is backed by nothing, you just credit the federal government, but continue to credit the account of government with trillions. 1 trillion, people shouted, 2 trillion, 10 trillion, 15 trillion, 20 trillion. And we kept going. My dear friend, Shem, I did say it before, that this particular government inherited a dead economy. From a macroeconomic point of view, this government inherited a dead economy, standing almost a dead horse that was still standing. But people didn't know it was dead. Because you cannot pour drums of water on a rug and expect that the rug will not be wet. There is humongous challenges. And I think it is important that Nigerians understand this. And that it's not a tea party. Cardoso and the Minister of Finance, when I spoke with them, each one of them I spoke to on the appointment, I said, meaning have my congratulations and also my commiserations. Because I know what faces them. And Nigerians need our support collectively, intellectually, and in whatever way that we can. But I want to believe that, we'll lock ourselves in a room for a day or two. We must be able to get through this. Nigeria, I'm an incurable optimist in the greatness of this country. That's why I offered. That's why I applied for this job. If I don't believe in the future, in the incredible, the future of this country, then I wouldn't be, taking myself through this, what I call the executive imprisonment, as it were. So we must all work together to get ourselves out of the trajectory that we, if I say avoidably put ourselves through to.
Well, how do we do this? Because, it sounds like deja vu sometimes, and those who said the Buhari government of 8 years set this country back 20 years. It was in this same studio that an economist showed me that. And they decry what has become a major, major impact of the economic policy of that government. But how can the Tinubu government restart his economy, make the Nigerian people smile, and perhaps soon?
That's a short question with a long answer, Shehu. And I think I responded to that already. I think the National Economic Council continued to give its advice. The federal government has got this economic team in place, and whoever has something to offer to the team must be welcome to offer them. And I did make a point that you get a couple of people in a room, lock them up for 2-3 days. I'm sure we should be able to have a very coherent, robust strategy to get ourselves out of this. We've been through these roads before. As I said, we've been through these routes, probably not in this kind.
Nuances lele. Nuances lele.
You see, Nigerians be their mumu and their mugus. Here you get. Tinubu once said, if some of you will remember this.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back.
Nuances lele.
Agba nuisance nìyẹn o. Person will get strategy when you were doing elections. Bokwari gave him handover note. He didn't put economic team together to look at it and come around and announce to everybody and say, "Na genje den Gary give me oh." Now they are now asking all of you who have ideas, to go and supply your idea to them, to the economic team. They will lock themselves in a room. Did you hear Soludombu saying that even though he didn't mention a PIM except for Obaseki, they came out to said they are printing money. This country is gone. You remember that time when Obaseki said they are printing money and they are sending the money to the state as allocation. Nigeria newspaper were reporting state, federal, state, and local government shares 1.2 trillion naira. And they will just say the money came from the total tax collected. And then what else again? They will shall find one lie, two, 3 lies. Join them together. Breaking news. Federal, state, local government shares 1.4 trillion naira. Money from crude oil sales, taxes and revenue, VAT, and blah, 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 blah. Under Bokwari, they were printing money and sharing the money. Money backed with nothing, just ordinary paper. No value, no nothing. Soludombu was one of the economic team of Bokwari advising him. See, it's done again.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. The cost of fuel.
My screen just froze there again because I was like, I'll deal with that anyway. So you have that. And now they are asking you, as you are watching this video, Tinubu has started printing his own money too. Yes. As he is borrowing, they are printing money. But if you hear that one now on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, they will say it is fake news. So easy. It was fake news when we announced that Emefiole was printing money. Until Emefiole came out and said, if you want to fight me, come out and let us fight. Yes, we are printing money. It's our job to print money. Dubious Dakpo of Ogun. They call him Emperor now. I told you I have something I want to say. You see, in Ogun State, somebody exposed dubious Dapo as ex-convict in Florida, in America. As ex-convict, there was a mugshot of him. This guy now published that the DSS in Nigeria and the rest, because he's APC, a Bekegbe member himself. They didn't see that anyway. He was supposed to also be in jail as one of those fuel subsidy fraudsters that Goodluck Ebere Jolantan wanted to deal with at the time by removing subsidy, then going after all the oil thieves. Dubious Dapos oil company was one of them. He has so much money. Here you get 18 oil and all of that. He's got so much money from those illegal routes. There is governor. As governor, if you see anything, Dubious Dapo can arrest you anytime. If you don't know him, look at him.
Yeah, but give me the governor. If the governor state, if the chief security officer state, will they arrest anybody?
That's my state. It doesn't have any much reasons to. They will arrest you. Your family members, even if the social media free this is the emperor, they will lock you up. They locked this guy up for over a year. Person will expose a criminal, became a criminal. The commissioner of police and the rest of them were charging him for cyber terrorism, social. That's dubious Dapo. Now in Ogun State, you have to behave yourself. Even Benga Dane, the former emperor, also collected from this guy. This is the kind of a criminal in charge, by the way. However, he was also on a channel television. He was one of those who are like, well, thanks to Oshiomole, Tifnumbu, and Bokwari, so he had no choice. They were one of those who were saying Bokwari was the best thing that happened to Nigeria and Nigerians after the invention of a sliced bread. But they don't throw Bokwari under the bus again. One of them. Listen to that. That was said. His own description is even funnier. Listen.
I was asking about the debt profile of the state. What are you doing about it? Those who believe that the state is highly indebted and it doesn't have any business for a state that grows over 100 billion in internally generated revenue.
I'm sure that you are aware of the recent release by a budget that showed Ogun State as the number one in most improved internally generated revenue by miles ahead of any other state. At the same time, we're also, I believe, maybe number 5 or number 7 on the list of most resilient states and the few states that can actually indeed survive if peradventure suddenly there's no allocation from the federal government. From the very first day I assumed office as governor of the state, I've paid salaries every month on time. From the very month I assumed office, I've ensured that pensioners are also paid, and gratuities that have been owed have also been slowly and gradually they are being paid off. But more importantly, I've grown the economy of Ogun State to the point where today we are the fastest growing economy in Nigeria. We last year we were inching close to the 200 billion per annum mark. This year we'll certainly achieve that objective. Without a doubt, I'm sure that by the end of this year we'll be the number 2 in Nigeria, in this country, without a doubt. And this has been very intentional. It has not been an accident or by happenstance. So when you are talking about, the indebtedness of the state, you look at, what you look at and want to talk about is what is their ability to service, whatever debt they have. If we're indebted and yet, financial institutions continue to avail us with required funding, they must be doing that because they see the potential we have and that we've had to service our loans.
These too shall pass, and we will all be better for it. When you were talking about the difficult times under the Bola Tinubu government, there are a lot of Nigerians who are wondering, what is Governor Abiodun talking about? Things have become more difficult by...
The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has been very bold and audacious. They're taking the bull by the horn. They've done what no other government has done in the history of Nigeria. They've had to deregulate to save Nigerians. And they've deregulated at a time when the pricing of petroleum was at its largest margin. But knowing fully well that they either did that then or the country would be brought to its knees. Like they say, there can't be any gain without pain. He has inherited an administration that was almost comatose. But, you know, our president, besides being a former governor and a senator, he is also an accountant. So he's someone who is very spot on. And all hands are on deck to turn this economy around. We are very hopeful. And we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So
nuances lele. Nuances lele.
Ladies and gentlemen, they said Tinubu took a bold step on your behalf, and you are already seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Ogun State, happened to be one of the supposed industrialized states in Nigeria, okay? At the same time, with the highest unemployment rate in Nigeria. Isn't that ironical? Then when it comes to borrowing, when Bukwari was like going berserk with borrowing, it was not Bukwari alone that borrowed over 85 trillion. No. Are you with me? It's not only Bukwari, all these states collected, including Ogun State. And since what these guys knows very well, right, is to tax you and take from you, okay? All they have to do is to increase what they take from you until they kind of, until when you get to a stage that you can no longer give anymore. But criminals in charge and all of that. So an administration that is almost in comatose. What's he talking about? He's talking about Bukwari. The best thing that happened to all of now, you know, after sliced bread. What's he talking about? Well, you know, they have the amogus. So in 2024, that is going to be tagged renewed Shege 2024. As most of you, I remember that time when this issue of a subsidy removal first started and things started changing, prices started changing. The Lagos Bakus, I'm talking about the bad starts, they were secretly hoping that there is something that Ashiwaju awon gbewiri must have in stock for them. They didn't know that it is more pankere, bulala, iya that he has in stock for them. So they were saying everybody should be patient. They are working on it. People will not have a clue. They don't get any idea what's going on, right? They were reassuring themselves that Kolu will not intentionally come make them suffer like this. Kolu, I beg, don't let people share us now. I remember that those early days. So I'm talking about June, July. Palliative was coming. Subsidy palliative until majority of you became so hungry. For those who remain alive, you don't even get any voice anymore. Thanks to those who probably sustained you to this time. Here you get. So now they are going to tell you, wait for the budget. Inside that budget, Ashiwaju has said, Ma tell you what's in the inside them a little bit, make you know. Number one, They initially said they wanted to spend 26 trillion. Out of this 26 trillion, open your ears. So Shebi subsidy is gone. Abi, Shebi subsidy is gone. Now, they wanted to spend 26 trillion. Later, they changed it to 27.5 trillion naira. You can easily say plus or minus $27 billion. That's how much they want to spend. On what? When you begin to, I want to give it like a day after he make that presentation, go. Then I'll come back here and skeleton for you. But may I give you the idea? You see Bokuwari's budget, Usually, if you go and check all Bokuwari's budget, he never provided anywhere for subsidy. Go and check. But under Bokuwari alone, Nigeria spent over 22 trillion naira on subsidy. 4 trillion in a year. Abba. So now, to this of Kolu, the largest portion, I use percentage, because now that one go pay. You see, normally when you have budget for a country that is in economic trouble, no job, even those who get job, they cannot feed well. Sure you get, Now, to help them, the budgeting them means you have plan for every sector. But because the criminal government in Nigeria is not about you, the people, it is cash and carry. When they are planning anything, they are not planning them to really serve you per se. They are planning them based on how much of that they will use to siphon the public fund. And they can continue to do the same projects for the next 8 years. All it takes is just to put it in the budget. That's it. And divert resources towards it. So 27.5 trillion naira, 74% of that is going into what is called recurrent expenditures. What are the recurrent expenditures? Recurrent expenditures are like salaries of politicians as well as salaries of workers. Procurements in different ministries and the rest of them recurrent. They don't bring anything back. They are like consumable things that are going to be taken and they will be gone. They will have nothing. Pretty much like paying for service. All of the trips that all of them are going to go to next year, they will put that in that budget as part of the recurrent. The military spending, which has now become an industry. The more they spend on Nigeria defense, the more baskets it becomes for the terrorists who are trading in Nigeria. I used to read about the budget for Nigerian defense. 800 billion. 800 billion. Now you'll be seeing things like 7 trillion for Nigeria defense, only for them to acquire some of these equipments in order to further decimate the citizens themselves, like genocide, or open the door for the terrorists who are going to come and cut the weapons away. And you'll be wondering, how did all these ragtag criminals called terrorists have been able to survive in Nigeria that spends over 4-5 trillion naira on defense every year? Because they never really spend 4-5 trillion. Like I said, they are just mere conduit pipe mostly. So that's that. And yeah, paying for this and that, and the rest is for completion of so road, and completion of that road, and completion of this other that and that. If you go and check all of the former budget of Bokuwari, you will see all similar budgets there. I mean, similar projects there. Okay. And then you realize that they just have to change the figures. Is this not the same project that they said Bokuwari? I mean, somebody was doing since 2002. Say, we need to complete it. They were not going to complete it. The refineries, the Ajaokuta, all of that, they are conduit pipes that will continue to reoccur in order to steal resources that are so scarce. And then the other real sectors will continue to suffer, like education, healthcare, and others like that. So yeah, 28% is going to be for capital projects, capital expenditure. Here you get, like they want to renovate this or they want to do that or blah, blah, blah. Here you get. So which simply means you are not going to be out of the wood. At all, you are not. Okay. Let's now say, okay, wastage. That's wastage now. Yeah, of course it's wastage, of course. It's a tradition. All it has to do is for them to make some amendment here and there. And then by the time it gets to the National Assembly, those ones are still going to pad it. When those ones will release the final figure, they may tell you that Tinubu will need 28 trillion. Add another 500 billion. They may even come back and say it needs 28.5 trillion. Add extra 1 trillion. That's what they do. You know, the saddest part is that Nigeria does not have the money. You know, you can say if you have money, so much money, that your economy is so good, and you just love wastage. You know, that people will be like, like Americans now. Americans are rich. Their economy is great. Sure, you understand? It doesn't mean that there are no poor people or suffering people in America. You get me? But anyway, their economy is fine. But America will say they are spending $70 billion, $100 billion on foreign this or that. It may be war or this. And some people will be like, instead of using that money to take care of the homeless people in California, you saw those homeless people in America, all those abandoned areas in America, all those, like those in America. Why are you wasting money? Why are we wasting money? Why can't they invest this money? There are poor people in America that are this or that, but they have money. They do. At least the economy shows that they do. Even though people feels like Americans are living in a bubble, but fine. Nigeria doesn't have money. Everywhere, Nigerian criminal leaders go, they are going there with capping, with plate in hands. When people are talking about potentials, they are just like these old slave traders that will say, listen, all these things you are talking about, we have them too. I mean, we can have them too. But we just wanted to know that we don't have them yet because we are poor. Or if you are looking for people to do that work that you are saying, we have people, we have a big population. If you are looking for resources, raw materials that you need, come to us. We also have them. But give us something. We will take an whole body so that we can be sure that you want to come and help us. Please come and help us. But here, how much can you give us? Like, for example, we have too many poor people. Our people are very poor. Do you have money to help us sponsor malaria? Please. And those ones will be like, oh, damn it, man. All right. We plan to spend about 100 million euro abroad on charity anyway. So we'll give you 2 million euro to fight malaria in your country, in Nigeria. We'll say, breaking news. Nigeria government just signed a deal with the European healthcare body. They are ready to make an immediate investment of 2 million euro. And they are also bringing extra 2 billion euro in a space of 3 years. They are also going to train. They don't have their own jarao. So there are people back home will be like, thank God, Europe is coming to come and invest 2 billion. No. Na Bambiala, they go to Bambiala. So those ones will just be like, well, go to Africa if you can take the risk and see what you can get from there. We'll give you the consular backing and support. If you want to take pictures with your leaders, just make sure that you go with your checkbook. Checkbook for what? Oh, they are always begging. They are always begging. It is in their nature. Really? Yeah. When you get there, you will see a minister start complaining about how life is tough, how he's struggling, how everything is hard for him. He's trying to ask you to give him money, even though you came there to talk development. This is who they are. Just go there. Just go with your checkbook. All right. Okay. And then that's it. Free pass. That is the kind of leaders that you have. They are unproductive, always begging for money. They are looking for people to even cancel their debts. Now, you want to send somebody to go and talk to the world that will see you and just feel like, oh, you know, when you will see, you hear news. You remember when, listen, this is not me trying to bring all of we'll be saying supporters and the critics. So I just want to use this as an example that is real. Do you all remember when Barack Obama was elected the American president? I just want to bring back that era, okay? Forget about the other things for now, please. You remember that? Even as a black person, you just kind of feel like, well, that's some mystery in the making. Oh, wow, really? A black man as an American president? Even though you both the trip. If you go and it was so good, it speaks well. Even though you both go the trip for Obama. Every time they say the president, apart from being the president of America, but being Obama, everywhere he went, then there was this horror. Everyone wanted to meet him for the first time. Oh dear, and all of that stuff, right? That happens to when you have some things that probably was mostly unexpected, but not the status quo per se. I'll tell you another one. In case some of you are too young, you may not understand this, okay? But it happened. It is true, okay? When Abiola died, when they killed Abiola, okay, there was this deal that was struck by the American government. And you must have heard the name like Condoleezza Rice. Now, see, the deal then was the military just had to go. But if the military have to go, they would have to kind of give them a lifetime settlement. They would never be probed or tried for any of their atrocities. So when they struck that deal, they now brought Obasanjo. The military themselves suggested that, well, they probably will go with Obasanjo as the next president of Nigeria. Now, here's what I'm trying to get to. Obasanjo had a track record that was really, really sort of very good at the time, globally. However, when Obasanjo now became president, I want to implore you to please go on Google and go on search for Obasanjo's first trip abroad here and there. It was Obasanjo was oozing of royalty, authority, and that is why many of us will never forgive him for not taking advantage of the second opportunity to actually put Nigeria on a track to true federalism. He had everything. Obasanjo, he was able to go to everywhere. Obasanjo traveled all over the world, and he was speaking the best Nigerian brains from different organizations all over the world. He was telling them, give that person to me, give that to me. I needed this person. They were obeying him. They were releasing them. That was how Okonjo Iweala came back to be his minister, remember? Obasanjo was making deals that if you are willing to come back to Nigeria, probably to come and reinvest in Nigeria, you will have the federal pass that will not only help your relocation, it is going to help your resettlement. Obasanjo's government were sending money to relocate Nigerians back to Nigeria as expats. Some of them are watching me. Probably their children will be watching me too. He had that aura. Obasanjo went around the globe. He was telling them, he wasn't asking them for money. He was asking them to forgive Nigeria debt. And one single morning, they woke up and they said, okay, we've forgiven all the debt of Nigeria. If Nigeria will pay so amount back, the rest will be written off. And Obasanjo wrote Nigeria debt incurred since 1979 when he handed over to Shagari. They wrote Nigeria debt back to zero in 2002 or thereabout. He had that. Here you get. He was making deals here and there, and people were fulfilling them. He was the one who cut the deal for the Abacha loot to be returned, even though that deal was not to Nigeria's advantage. But he wanted everything he could get. He had that authority at the time. Seriously, I'm just trying to kind of make you compare now. They overthrown a president that was visiting Nigeria, Sao Tome and Principe. Obasanjo put they announced that they have overthrown their president. He should stay in Nigeria. Don't come back here. Military. Obasanjo put their president in his Nigeria presidential jet, flew to Sao Tome and Principe, and his own pilot was radioing their ground control that the president of Nigeria and the president of Sao Tome and Principe, they are in the air. They threatened Obasanjo that they will shoot down. They said they should shoot it down and ignite the Nigeria-Sao Tome war. That was when Nigeria meant something, right? I mean it too. That same day, imagine they overthrow somebody in 24 hours. After 24 hours, within 48 hours, Obasanjo reinstated him. The guy finished his term. But like I said, I'm talking about when Nigeria had something to offer. And that got into him. He felt like he was the only person who could actually rule Nigeria. A country of 150 million to 200 million people. He was the only, then pushed Nigeria towards this trajectory. And today is now one of those saying democracy is not for Africa. It's not working for Nigeria and blah, 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 blah. That's why some of us won't forgive him. Ever. It would have resolved this like, you would never have had Bukwari, talk less of having Tinubu. They would never have happened. But it is Nigeria, so it's a spilled milk. Now, Tinubu and his gang, they are going about asking people to give them money, falsifying data in order to make themselves look good. But in reality, I was watching few of them few days ago, and that is their Minister of Communication and then Digital Economy. I've been something like that, Sha. Bosunti Jani, the guy that was on this side before, right? He's one of those who built the tech ecosystem length. Those tech that you can use app. All those, those startup companies that were into maybe payments like, what are those names again? Paystack. What other names? You shall know what I'm trying to say, right? People who are like helping connect businesses to, to the World Wide Web, app and all that. They call it ecosystem, building tech ecosystem. Tinubu picked him and made him a commissioner, minister, right? And the guy has been doing his own point-based, what did they call that? Pinpoint, what do you call that thing that they have to present on a whiteboard? Is that called a pinpoint, whatever? He's been doing all of that all this while, building websites for experts to come back, or join. They are software developers, app developers, and they do those. For example, let's say you have You know, let's say you have a restaurant now, right? And your restaurant, you know, you really want the world to know that you have a restaurant there and all of that. So they will build you in a way, a system mode. I mean, a model, kind of a system model that will categorize you into the search. When people are looking for restaurants in so area, you will pop up. Not just that, right? Yeah, you can even have your own app where people can indeed reach out to you and all that. But it's just that within that circle, when you click up in the app now and say, I'm looking for where to get a spa, or I'm looking for a salon. So if you have all your salons and all of them, if they have already built website and all of them for you, people can easily get you, Sha. You know what I mean? People can order from you, like you have small shop and all that. They can build you into it, okay? You have your web, you have your contact, everything is within that frame, that ecosystem. But this also be now so it be when person won't try to share see which one go it. It will make sense in the soy. Let's see the one we go. But all of una shall get idea of what I'm trying to say, Abi, before I finally begin to talk nonsense. Say, my okay. You don't go for Maiyegun. It's okay. We get you. You don't go extra. Say I'll leave it at that. Anyway, flutter wave. You get what I'm saying? These are big like platforms that have make names, but there are other smaller ones. Oh, Shege, you have Jumia, you have all these things, right? Big stores that have been built into it. They don't have to open shops everywhere anymore. You can have a big, massive warehouse, and that's it. People can begin to pick up your stuff all over the country, and you make more money instead of having to open shops here, open shop everywhere, paying rent. That's the kind of thing Bosun is doing, right? Now they are doing one. They said they want to do one for medicals. Bosun can say all of them way they abroad. You can go and register so that you can get a job or medical this or that. Sounds good, right? But people can't take on so bad, like you they mad. You have a country that has no electricity. The infrastructure is zero, almost zero. And you are making it look like you are building something for the country, for Nigeria. Then later, if the thing no can really work because it won't work, you begin to say, at least he tried, he built something for you. They mad, if you are building something for your this and say, okay, I'm building this, for example, you say, if you need any doctor, for example, you say, if you need any doctor for your this or that, you can get please, we need you to sign up. And a UK a day. Sure you get. So, which means I can be offering advices and the rest of that and all that, Abi. But I think all those ones are already existing. So Bosun is now trying to make it look like he has built something that is going to attract all of you working in the medical field outside Nigeria, so that you can apply and you can be posted to Luth, Osutu, Abi, you know to Abi Kelongpe, you suit. You shall know all those teaching hospitals within Nigeria, especially those of you who don't japa, in the last 2-3 years. So Bosun is building something like that. They come bombard and say, nonsense dance so no lele. Everyone is trying to kind of make it look like they are doing something, when the real thing is not indeed, is actually completely abandoned for frivolities. They talk about them, but they do something different. So if you are looking forward to the 2024, I am saying make you prepare well, so that 2024 will not come again. And then you begin to kind of find another thing to make yourself feel better. Because yesterday, I wasn't on yesterday, right? So I was at the Wakajeje on top of the Zuckerville Street, then negotiating that of Elon Musk Avenue too, which is the Twitterville as well, right? And I just saw people where they say, they can't carry billboard for head like this. I voted for Tinubu, but I am hungry. I voted for Tinubu, but I am suffering right now. But I still believe in the mandate. Have you seen them or have you not? Right. I have seen them all. You know those ones who are trying to make themselves feel better and say, maybe it is not bad after all. Here you get, like that they did this to themselves. If you want to look for trouble, just go on social media and just say, if you know that you voted for Asiwaju, please drop your account details below. I am going to pick 200 people. If 5,000 naira is not too small for you, I tell you how you go do them, okay? You go say, fellow Nigerians, if you voted for Asiwaju, please drop your account details below and tell me what you can do with 5,000 naira if it's not too small for you. May Asiwaju succeed on the mandate we stand. Go and post that. Experiment. Go and experiment. Should people know the comment on your post on Facebook or Twitter, Abi? People hardly follow you or reply your messages, Abi? People actually hardly even like your post on social media, Abi? Go and post that right now, and in the next 30 minutes, come back here and tell me the results. You will see these guys that will tell you horrible stories about themselves because of 5,000 naira. If you want to finish them, just go and put it and say, I want you to write that I voted for Asiwaju and I am suffering now. I will do it again because I know Asiwaju will succeed. Then please post your account details and what do you think 5,000 naira can do for you? You will see all of them, they will trip out. Even though we all agree that you cannot shame the shameless. But more yummy. Sometimes other people's shame. They shame person too. Where you could be like, you no get shame money. It's better. It be like I just have to hold the shame on your behalf. You get that? There are those they are telling that Asiwaju succeed. In 2024, all of you should wait. Okay, everything's going to calm down. Asiwaju is going to is going to shame all his enemies. They are telling you that what you are going through, the only way to show that you are not going through that and you are not Tinubu's enemy is to what? Is to just keep it to yourself. Even me, I will tell you, Omo Yami, you wanna runu now. But later, I just feel like majority of you have been told after you should ronu, keronu kuloku bai. You will not be able to hold it together. It is not that I'm wishing it on you. I'm not. I have seen what they want to do in 2024. And I can tell you free of charge, it's going to lead you into more poverty. So, which one is to for Joshi Womi? Why are you looking at me somehow? Why are you looking at me like that? That's not me. I have seen what they are going to do, what they want to do. And from what I have seen, when they are able to carry it out, even if now 50% of it they are able to carry out, Baba, do you know what is called Fodun Wadun? I'll tell you. Fodun Wadun is to compare year by year. You'll be comparing years. It is not a good thing. It sounded like a plea, like something like a curse, but indeed, the actions of the criminals has turned many of you to start Fodun Wadun. They compare years. Anyway, last year, Baba. Last year. You remember that my car now? You get car before? Is Baba, last year now, where we go Kuramo? How girl, you don't forget. Even at June, I sell her. No, we will take and pay for my wife operation. But you don't forget. See, Maiyegun, no vex. Too much. I don't forget. Say you don't buy car before. Say, this country, Baba, this country, man. He say, but you said you get shop last year now. You remember saying that for your in front of your shop, we all did the rough farm, About see all it's me and you. Just think, Amo. Now me and you can't be special advisor to the chairman of our park. Where we they drive Korokwe? Where we they drive Okada now? Now be the special because now go school now get good, But everything is gone now. Here you are. You are now in for doing what do. I know those that will tell you, Maiyegun. If anybody had told me in 2015 that Nigeria is going to become like this, Maiyegun, I would have. I said, kilo happen. Maiyegun, in 2015, I was going everywhere for vacation. So what happened? You don't go vacation anymore. Vacation, Bawo, Maiyegun, forget vacation, Charade. I've been struggling to even keep my business afloat. I said, really? You better pray, Adi. These guys have no real plan for you, for your children, for any of you at all. And you can make things up in your head. Let us pray for them. Let us fast for them. That's for you. Or you can develop the same coping mechanism. Like, at least, he's trying. And some people are just the ones that are trying to they are not letting his work show. Build every other kind of defense mechanism. But Maiyegun will be here to continue to remind you that you did this to yourselves. Do you get that? You cannot make anything out of nothing. It is impossible. Actions, they say, speaks louder than words. If it's about words, they are the wordsmiths. They are good at it. Still, keep listening to them. And keep comforting yourself. So, Nigeria is so divided that every little chance everyone has is either to trigger or get triggered. Trigger someone or be triggered, sort of. Divided to the point that sometimes you have to be like, when they say, like you have to be walking on eggshells. Especially if you have your own biases too. Talking about history. Histories will make people sometimes become so enraged simply because their history is being manipulated just for them to look bad and the others to look good. I said something. Me, not you. Thank you very much. The Empress. The Empress is with us tonight. Tunapa is here with us as well. And I know my dear brother, Innocent Obi, Kalu Okpara, Martinelli, and all the crew. I can see some of you there already. Mokunasha, take them easy and pay attention. Okay? We have had, there's something they say about that if the animals were allowed to write their own stories, you will barely see a part that glorifies the hunter. Barely. And in the case of history, some of them are written in blood, which means through conqueror, fight, and all of that resistance, and from century to century. And as Africans and me as a Ijebu man, we have our histories that indeed are interrelated. When you take a calmer look. One reason why they, people, I would say, the Pan-Africanists are still struggling to find the fundamental root cause of the divisions among Africans. That Africans generally are all the surviving tribes and the ethnic nationalities of Africans who survived till today. They survived through, centuries of war, famine, migration, and the rest of that to sustain what many refer to today as the ancestry. But when you look at all of it, you will know we have had our path crossed one time or another, or many times in our history. And that is what's going to take me down to Nigeria and Lagos and Yoruba land. Oba of Benin was in Lagos, probably still in Lagos, as the guest of Sanwo-Olu and the Lagos state government. It's sort of a special, a special appearance or meeting, you would say, because there are those who grew up believing that Oba of Benin will never leave his palace, except for traditional, purposes and all of that. But again, I think historians have explained why Oba of Benin can actually leave his palace, and there will be no traditional repercussion and all that. So yeah, we've seen the Oba with the politicians on several occasions. He is a friend of Bokwari. Not that he has much choice per se, right? But he's a friend of the politicians, okay? And we've seen him with Tinubu, by the way, as well. And these are meetings that are not just outside Benin. They are in far, far away, Abuja and now Lagos. But that is not the purpose of this chart. So Oba now told the governor, among other things he said, the one that caught the attention of the supposed, we the Yorubas, like, she Oba of Benin want to rewrite our history, ne? And because he's Oba of Benin, when you see an average Benin person, they will tell you, be careful, don't talk about our Oba. Oba cannot be wrong to an average Benin person. But that's fine. I kind of respect that. However, here is what happened. Oba now said that Lagos was founded by the Beninese. And so many people have been going mental about it. You see, where I want to look at it from is going to be so different from those of you who wanted to be who is right and who is wrong. I have actually, for him saying that, apart from the fact that he is not totally right and he is not totally wrong, but in this case, I'll tell you what I know and why I decided to look at it from here. Have you noticed that the if you are a Benin person watching me right now, have you noticed that, recently, a lot of you get so mad and angry whenever the Oduduwa nation people add Benin as part of a Yoruba nation? You know how you are like, no, we are not part of your Yoruba nation. I'm not saying you are. I want to say, I want you to take a look at what that what Oba said. Omonoba said. He said that the Benin people founded Eko, which later became Lagos. And the same ruling houses in Lagos, there is one of them that found their own traces back to Benin. And therefore, that is an evidential fact that the Benin's founded Lagos. That is a complete falsehood. It is not true. Now, here is the real story. The one that are actually like factually evidenced and documented. And I'll tell you the ones that I would say I remain controversial among all of the, probably the histories that all of you have. Please, I need your attention. And like I said, I'm actually not saying this because I want to prove who is right or who is wrong or who has the right history or who doesn't and the rest of that. Now, I'm going to use this to show the connection that actually connects the rest of the Yorubas with the Benin's. And by that, you can say the Benin's are also Yorubas. Because Yorubas are not just Oyos. When you look at the land that is kind of identified as Yoruba land, it also comprises of other nationalities too, like the independent region called the Ijebu land. We've always been independent. We've never been under anyone. But that's a story for another one anyway. But in Yoruba land, you have all these other independent people, right? But there is something I want us to remember. You see, for the Benin people, why they sort of always get connected with the Ile-Ife and the Yorubas in history. You see, in the 14th century, this was about 1300, you know. So it was recorded that the last born of Oduduwa, Oromiyan, found his way down to a place called Igodomigodo. He now settled at a place called Use, where he was a warrior. He was like, you know. So he settled in a place called Use. He met people there called the Igodomigodo, the people that are today's the Benin's, which means there are people there, even before he got there. Then he decided to rule over them. But they won't let him because his ways seem so foreign to them. And this forced him to leave the today's Benin. He left and he called the place Ile Ibinu, which is kind of interpreted to what is called the Benin and all that. But the same people, they kind of managed, right, to ensure that it was that Oromiyan history, which is recently probably coming out. Sorry, 1 second though. My time is up again.
Lagos. But I cannot help but saying that at least it is in history books that Benin founded Lagos. But when some people will hear it now, they go haywire and say, what is the Oba saying there again? But it is true. Go and check out the records. Maybe not all over Lagos as we know it now, but certain area in Lagos, maybe the nucleus of Lagos.
I have told you, my intention is pretty much not to see who is right or who is not, okay? But you can tell me I am wrong, and I am 100% willing to agree, okay? Because if that is how you want to see it. What I'm trying to bring out is that even this history of Oromiyan coming and becoming supposedly the first Oba of Benin, but he left and then stopped at, what's that place called again? Is it called Ugo? So where Eweka was born, and Eweka 1 became the first now recognized Oba of Benin, and the same Eweka family still kind of have access to that Benin kingdom. Anyway, it was also reported that in what do you call it? In 15th century, the Portuguese came. When the Portuguese came, this was in 15th century, they met people. at what I mean at a place now that they call they initially actually called the place Lagos what do you call it, La Corona or something like that, right? Anyway, I'm sorry if I kind of a bit of a going on. I'm getting distracted by something, but here. So when they came to what later became Lagos, the Aworis, who are pretty much like the people who lives next to water, the Aworis were already in that spot. But it is true they had no king or anything. So they said one of the subjects of the Oba of Benin, right, escaped, and he was reported to have been spotted in a place that is today's Eko. And that Eko or Oko, which is sort of interpreted as a Benin language of a settlement, something like that, right? The Lagos has already been named as far back as the 1500 when the Portuguese came, just before, you know what I mean? Even the Benin's came. And on record, from record, the Benin's, they did not even reach that spot called Eko until the 17th century. This is history. And like I said, a lot of you are going to be so busy typing that, oh no, you are wrong, you are wrong. I'm gone, ma, finish before you slaughter me. Calm down. And these are the ones that you can really trace, and they are actually the existing factual one. I mean, I don't know which one your old man told you or what have you, right? There are people there. Okay? However, they said when they got to that same spot of Ido, right? The person they met there was Olofin, who happened to be an Awori. So Olofin said, well, if you know who you were looking for, we'll let you settle down here. Stay here until you find the person. And that was the first time the real Benin contingent actually, on behalf of the Oba, there was no war, there was no fight, there was no nothing. And like I said, historically, usually when people are kind of conquered or a place is taken over, it is mostly either by war or treaties, especially if you share border and the rest of that, but there was nothing. Now, there is another history where they said it was actually an Ashikpa, a Benin chief, who led that delegate to come and look for that subject, was the one who initiated the administrative settlement, like, okay, you have the chiefs, the dejos, you have the king and the rest of that. The Portuguese were already there. The Portuguese didn't meet the Benin's. They met the Aworis when they came. But again, even if you disagree with that history, part of history, it's okay. Or if you are a Benin man, here is what I pick out of it. If you are a Benin man or from Benin or Benin woman that agrees that that part of what later became the Lagos state, which is that Eko, listen to this. So, just like I said that you have the Aworis, we had the Aworis there. There were other 60, one sec. Sorry about that. So there were more than like 60 other parts of Lagos state, which make up of the Lagos state, where other people were already settled too. Like I said, if you know Lagos very well, Lagos state, or should I say Eko, is just part of Lagos. And back in those old days, why does he keep giving me that? Take it out. man, I don't know why the harp is pretty much following sign language, hand language and the rest of that, because he keeps doing that and he will just stop me and I can't stop moving my hand. I'm sorry. So, where was I? So yeah, I said, I don't want to see who founded where or not now, okay? Because we have Ekpe, and we know who started Ekpe and all of that. So we have Ikorodu, where the Jebus, all right, are part of that, okay? So you have so many other parts of Lagos State that are far away from Eko. So it's okay if Oba says, okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's okay. Like I said, it's not completely wrong and it's not completely right as well, okay? Now, let's agree that the Benin's actually started the place that has now become Isaleko of today. Do you get that now? Let's say they started that. And indeed, that is a connection that everyone who says I'm a Yoruba, whether you are Egbao, Ijebu, or Yo, or, even Benin, there is no point in being so agitative or being so sort of, unfriendly when the conversation around Yoruba nation pops up. Like it could be an LV conversation where you would agree that is a connection. Abi? I just thought I should say that because I have seen where the level of a division that these criminals or politicians have kind of created, they have made conversation like this so sort of difficult to have because everyone has a position. Do you get that? Everyone has his position that says, yeah, we did that. Okay, fine. That's great. Fine, you did. No, I'm not saying that Toba of Lagos lied, though, you see. I'm going to leave you with this now, all right? I have told you this before. You see, those of you who are champions of who is supreme or who is not, maybe this conversation will never settle down well with you, okay? The acknowledgement of the acknowledgement of the existence of the Benins in what now came out to be the Eko, the lagoon, does not literally means that the Benins created or founded Lagos. That even if you are now like, okay, everyone kind of started theirs and until they kind of get connected and they became what is now demarcated as Lagos State. Instead of tearing ourselves apart on who has more supreme or who founded what or not, how about you look into the connection, the things you really shared in common, which Nigeria has managed to put wrench in or in between. So today now, if you dare put out any map that says the Benins are also Yorubas or partly Yorubas and all of that, they will say, in your life, we are not part of that. And I'm not saying you should though, but if the Oba says there is connection between Benin and Eko, which is part of Yoruba land, okay, maybe that's far-fetched to say that should make it the rest of you part of Yoruba land because you've never really been. The Godo people that turn to the Benin people of today, they've always sort of have their own their own kingdom of space, if you can say it that way. So yeah, if the Oba says they founded Lagos without fighting a war, that is not completely true. That's where I'm going. I mean, that's what I want to make out of that, okay? Oba was in Lagos, and I kind of want to share that with you, if you don't mind.
President, why everywhere there. It's illegal. We believe so much in the head. That is why when they wake up in the morning, they hold our head and they pray on our head. So that is, we have this thing. If you look at this, this is our own piggy bank then this we use to get water. So the inscription of all these things are actually written here for people to read about it. That is how we have all these things here. So these are interactive screens, so that we also don't take away a new. So technology is also making technology also a play in the museum. So when you stand on that thing, it reacts. And whatever he's doing, he has a sensor. Okay. I graduated, that's what I say. Yes. So, with his crown on his head, the staff of authority, we try to showcase the royalty, because when our king sits down, you don't see the leg. So that's what we try to showcase here, with the crown on his head and his shoe beside him. So it is. There's a lot of things. These are all modernized. When you stand on these things, yes, you recognize it. You recognize it. If I go back, go forward. Wow. And see. There's a lot of things that this kind of interactive things you do for young people, yes, you can. You might. Look at all the things that we see in those new feature movies and restaurants. So people can what kind of movies are they now? Wakanda kind of. Yeah, so that's what we are. So we are looking at a situation that in 2030 we are looking at the year 2030. The so-called building image that the British are so demonized. How will it look? How will our children make it more modern? They may take the Orioloko now and they will put light on it and make it more appealing to the tourists to come into our nation. They can take our masquerade cloth and also make it more modern. So what we are trying to depict here is just like a normal Yoruba painting. That's what this place depicts. Okay. The one in front, this talks about creation. So this is just talking about how the history of the creation in relation to Lagos history. It's unfortunate that the sound is, but I believe that next time that we will come here, we'll have the sound. So it's just telling us about how we are created, to crawling, to running, so that's what this place is just intertwining with people. So that's what this screen is basically telling us about.
It's a wonderful visit. I think His Excellency has said it all. Thank you very much. Thank you. I enjoyed the tour. I've seen many things, and the guide has been wonderful. Thank you very much.
So do you see that? So over time, multiculturalization or cultural exchanges between some of some of us Africans, especially those of us who are in that part of Nigeria, they also depict the similarity and a lot of things that we sort of share in common if we end up being a single country. I kind of love that. The Benin Kingdom, rich in tradition and culture. Here was him when he got set to see Sanwo.
I was asking about the debt profile of this.
I think I've mixed them both together. Let's take it from here. Sorry.
It won't enter. Just stay.
You will love tradition, won't you? Imagine receiving a guest, that you have to kind of wait for some minutes for him to properly settle down and all of that. And the whole house, the whole street, the whole compound. That is how Oni of Ife also goes everywhere. London, everywhere they go. I don't know about the Olu of Warri. I don't know if he does that too. Or you see Oba of Benin, you have to do all of that thing. I'm sorry, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So that people will just be like, Maiyegun, what are you saying? Or you get what I mean, Sha? Oba Tokwaye, I don't, but there's another one, Oba, something like Gato or something. Tradition. It's quite cool. Anyway, let's, like I said, everyone has their own version of the story and all of that. But at this point, if you are in any way, interested in this, you should be more interested in what is it that we actually have in common enough to, follow the lead, follow the, all the information that are available. And, instead of everyone looking for who is big or who is small and all that. Yomi Totu. That's Yomi Totu there, by the way. Thank you very much for your own super chat as well. Oromiyo left Benin in care of his son, Eweka. Yeah, I think I didn't put it that way, did I? But I told you that it was his son. And then whose dynasty rules for many years, and they are still there today, by the way. Still part of the ruling houses in Benin, I believe. It's true, they might have They might have connections in tradition, culture, but they didn't found Lagos. No, they didn't. And there's not even supposed to be any argument about that, okay? So anyway, let's move on a bit. To those of you who are also from that Benin, have you seen, what's this guy's name again? Shuaibu. Well, he's declaring to be the next governor that will succeed Obaseki. Unfortunately, Obaseki will let him. Okay, but he managed to put this out. I'll show you.
Back in the days, you did not just call me Mr. Constituency Project for nothing. In my time as a legislator, I delivered 49 constituency projects at the state level and 13 solid constituency projects within the short stint I had at the federal level. I fought the good fight for you, my people. Along the way, suffered humiliation, enjoyed many moments of victory, but I am thankful in all things. Have been bruised, but not crushed. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Badly hurt, but not destroyed. I resonate with the tireless, irresponsible spirit of the Edo people. By the grace of God, nothing and no one can stop us. After all, I be original Edo son. 100% own boy. This is why today I stand before you with great conviction and resolve, as I declare my intention to run for the office of the governor of Edo State.
So sorry for you, Shaibu. Philip Shaibu. Is that not his name? Philip. Aye, right. And I kind of used to admire them, but not like admire them for, I just, the duo. They were like young, and somehow they were able to pull it off when their godfather was going to, wield this big stick on them, right? And I was like, I like them. I hope they will be able to kind of really deliver something, even in this fraudulent arrangement and all that, right? But I wasn't putting my hope up, so don't think I'm one of the admirers or no. I just like the duo, the combo. But when they started their wahala, I'm like, what could have gone wrong? Like, you guys are younger. You've actually you fought godfatherism supposedly fought godfatherism together. Like, what could have gone wrong? But they are Nigerian politicians, my brothers and sisters. Everybody knows what they are doing. Here you get. When it is meant to be turn by turn, Nigeria Limited, now the sharing formula will always cause the problem. And at the end of the day, they will tell you they are doing it, they are fighting on behalf of the people. No, they are not fighting for anybody. I don't know why Obaseki would no longer trust his own vice to succeed him. I don't know. I don't care. The point here is this. Shaibu and the rest is already been persecuted by his own supposed friend and boss. Sabi, waiting you go call your governor, your boss, Sabi. He has been humiliated as well. But politically, he's finished. I saw that earlier and I was like, guy, come on. At this point, you should probably just leave the old mess and all that. But who am I to advise Shaibu, who will be like, yeah, I've got the Edo people behind me. I got this or that behind, that stuff. All because it's going to be his turn. It's my turn. Baseki has done his own. It's my turn. I've done so much for these people. It's my turn. It is his turn to start signing the check. The check to further keep people in poverty and continue to, talking about poverty, and at the same time, people taking up, taking it up with their supposed leaders. I don't know if you heard about the coup scare in Sierra Leone, Freetown. Another Mali or Niger could have happened 2 nights ago in Freetown, when they said that some unknown soldiers, they invaded the military barracks and they shot soldiers and all of that. They invaded the prisons and they opened the prisons up and prisoners escaped and all of that stuff. But 24 hours after that, they said the military has been able to sort of quell that. It could have been another coup. Here is one of their prisons where they broke open.
Don't be part about it. Yes, don't be part about it. Don't be part about it.
Prison break. I don't know if they found them or what have you, but over 800 prisoners were reported to have escaped from that prison, by the way. And as bad as it is, I don't know if this man has given Soludo that money. Because I found a road, and they said that road is somewhere in, I think, Enugu, Kinikon Road. I'll show you. But there is a man with cash that said, we have this money. We don't know what to do with the money, but it will give Soludo 5 billion naira. Talking about development, okay? I thought I should share this. I don't know if they've given him the money or maybe in the next year, then promise him. Then I'll show you something else.
Woman who helped us to solve it. We have the money, but how can we share it? Can you share it here? It's war. Only Governor Charade will know how to share. Now, my dear Governor, I don't want to waste time. I will buy you 5 billion naira early next year, so you can share it where you feel that is good. 5 billion naira.
I don't know if it is supposed to have been given or it is still just being promised. Authorize should be shown this video. I swear, 5 billion spent on this road would be like a life miracle for some of these travelers. Show him this.
So African youth, this is all we are clamoring for. We left what we were supposed to do at earlier time and focus on religion. By the time that African youth supposed to come together, unite together, and continue to fight on how to get a good governance, they unite themselves together in order to form one of the biggest religions on earth. This is Enugu, it's an expressway. The roads are no good. We are on traffic. Nobody moves front, nobody moves back. And this is all we are preaching. There is no God anywhere from any Christianity, any pastor, that will make your own case to be different. Now I am on traffic here, Reverend Fathers are stuck here, pastors are stuck here, bishops are stuck here. So the illiteracy that is going on in Africa is abolished. You know, by the time that African youth are supposed to unite themselves together in order to get a good government, they unite themselves together to pray. And we are no longer together again because Catholic Church have divided us. Anglican have separated us. Choosing have separated us. The white man introduced religion to you after slavery, and they took on, keeping on, key into science and technology to develop their land. As a black man you continue dabbling in stupidity, that Jesus Christ is coming one day to save you. This is your land where Jesus is coming to save you. Can you see it? This is Igbo land where Jesus Christ lives, where Jesus performed miracles. But the same miracle Jesus has been performing, Jesus has failed to build our road for us. We left to do the needful and continue dabbling in stupidity or in the name of religion. We cannot use our common sense. We will keep on suffering. The white people that gave you religion will keep on building their land, while you will keep on with your eyes closed, praying to unseen spirit. You know, the stupidity of a black man is appalling. A black man who wants to go to heaven, look at where they came from. Black people who are dreaming about heaven that refuse to build their land, look at where they came from. So you want to tell me that you and Switzerland citizen is going to live in heaven when you die? The white man brainwashed you. You are under brainwashed. Typical one. Only in Africa is where they call Jesus to protect them from. So African youth.
Bros, calm down. Take a easy. Which one is about how this one take affect heaven now? You know how many people won't go heaven, but they don't want to die. And if you no die, you can't go to heaven. You know that? A lot of our people, when you know, on social media, when you're like, see this fine girl, my mama is a fine man. You go hear somebody where you go come there, come say, all of these ones are not going to be, they are not going to be useful in the heaven race. They are not going to matter for heaven. You see, man, the guy is, you know, he got so many awards for this, so, and so. And they will tell you, it no go matter forever. Heaven race. Now, a lot of people want to go to that heaven. They will tell you, about heaven race, heaven like John Law. So make that guy take a easy, because a lot of people have been working so much that they are going to heaven. If you be like, say, now where you come from, they go take Georgia, you go to heaven. So is it true that people who came from that Nigeria, living in that shithole, and then enduring it, defending the criminals who continue to destroy the place, do they also expect to go to the same heaven? That's a big one. That's why I said, Baba, no touch that heaven part. A lot of us now heaven race with the find. But if you are not dead, you can't go to heaven. But nobody won't die. Everyone wants to go to heaven. It's appalling what faith has done to our people. The brainwashing and every small thing. Let us pray. And we shall still have to pray. No, let us shall pray. Yeah? God will come and deal with them. Some will even tell me, let me assure you something, my brother. Is it this God? He works in a way that you will see what he will do to them. I say, Baba, people are dying now. God do something now, because God won't do anything by himself or so. We would have to do something ourselves. But it's really purely like up to us. May everybody just carry, what do you call it? Just carry your own little cross. And if you can help yours truly carry it too, fine. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to take calls, okay? I'll take calls, and yes, you can call in and add your own contribution too. But remember this, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, just remember, like the broadcast, share it. You see, that's the problem. I'm not saying prayer is not good. Prayer is good. I pray too. Even though I don't know how to pray like some of you who really, really know how to pray with prayer points and all of that. I pray too. You want me to show you how I pray? Okay. What do I pray for? Usually, what do I pray for? I don't know. And I'm actually being serious right now. I don't know, like, Maiyegun, what do you mean you don't? Because I don't really sit down and say, hey, you know, like that. No. I just do what I think I want. And I believe that if I succeed, that means God supports me. Here you get. So I don't sit down to sort of ask and say, Heavenly Father, I pray today that as I'm going out today, I want you to. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad though. I just don't want to lie. Here you get. So my own kind of prayer is just like something I just say in my mind. I just be like, I'm going to London. And I'm going to drive to London. And that's it. I just like, yeah, that's me. I'm going to be in London tomorrow. And then if I'm talking to somebody, I can just be like, by the grace of God. You know, like, Maiyegun, I hear say you they come London tomorrow. Yes, now I should be in London maybe by 4 o'clock, latest by 4, sha. Yeah. So are you sure you are coming? By the grace of God, I'm coming. That's my own prayer. I don't have to like pray for anybody, any fly, any evil fly that is going to be eating my tire, any evil spirit that is going to knock my engine, any bad road, any evil spirit on the road, bad, all of that. They are no real, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not good though. Don't get me wrong, because we tell man getting korong net so dija. I'm not complaining about yours, but you see, when it comes to action of government and all that, okay, I want you to look at what they are doing, okay, and then you realize that praying for them is just wasting prayer. You have to do something. So I'm not disputing. All of you, see. In fact, you are lucky if you can sit down, because I used to pray too, but that was when I was in Nigeria. I used to pray, God, Heavenly Father, I want you to change my story. Father, I want you to change my story. I don't want to be, that kind of a thing. What is change my story? So I will be able to feed. And I'll be able to live fine. Heavenly Father, I need helper. That kind of thing. I mean, it's normal. But now I don't know how to pray all of that anymore. I don't. And I'm not like trying to pretend I don't. So if you call me to come and pray for you, it will just be like how they talk. Kind of, I'm not saying it's not good. And there's no competition in that. Because any small thing, people, they turn them to competition. When you have about 4 or 5 people, and everybody is just talking about life. This one say, Baba, if you see what in my eyes don't see. I don't see Shege, Baba. If I tell you my story, you go just break down, they cry. Why should I break down and cry? Because of your story. Baba, you don't know my story. If I tell you you will not believe that I have survived a lot of things, right? That's one person trying to tell you what they've been through. But people go just turn them to competition. Another person will just be like, you never hear your story. Your own is still better, Jari. Look at this one. Your own is better. If I tell you my own, I swear to God, man, you go get depression. Why would somebody get depression because of what happened to you? Because people always love to turn things to competition. Like, you say you get money, they will tell you, say, get money, rich, you know how much money that can go, Nigerians. Is always competition. So I'm not doing any competition with you. Because I'm not condemning prayer. I love praying. I love people who pray. I mean, I don't feel irritated listening to prayer. I can stand there and listen to prayer and say amen to everything, and all that. I just don't want them to continue to use that same religion to brainwash you that same prayer can fix road. It can't. It won't. That prayer can fix your economy or fix your electricity. It won't. No, it won't. But somebody will tell you that it is possible because a rock talks. A camel talks. Do you understand that now? And this one happened, that one happened. And they want you to believe that because those happened, electricity, you have 24 hours electricity if you have faith. You have a better road if you have road network, if you have faith. Your economy will be better if you have faith. That's the seed. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't want. And don't mix them together, please. Don't. So I'll leave the line open in a minute, and when I get back, I will take calls. Remember, you can still like the video. had a caller that whose call finally dropped because I couldn't get it connected. And I actually hope I'm not going to be having problem with my call line tonight. I really want to take calls so that everybody can sort of chip in wherever you feel like, but it seems I'm beginning to have problem with that line. So I'm going to try again and see if we are still good to go. And indeed, I want to believe the line is open, okay? I want to believe that you could call in, but I hope I will be able to connect you. Yeah, okay, let's try this. Here. Hello there.
Maiyegun Baba.
Balagba. How you doing? Austin, is that you?
Yeah, it's me, Austin. It's me, Austin.
How
I know.
are you today, Austin?
How are you doing?
Well, very well. Oh, same old. Oh. How your side?
That's it. My dear, we thank God. We really thank God. I appreciate God so much.
Bless you. Go on, man.
I have to appreciate you again for your wonderful work.
Oh, thank you.
You are doing extremely good, and we love you for that.
Thanks, man.
For the first time I know you, since then, my love has been growing. I don't know how to express it towards you, but I said, in all the same, I love you so much,
Austin, right?
Thank you for your good work.
Has anyone ever told you that I'm not sure in real life, but you actually sound so similar to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Has anybody ever told you that?
Even my mom told me because we are from the same place.
Great. Then I was, I mean,
everybody told me.
Somebody like you can sit down on Biafra radio, right? And nobody will understand that it wasn't Mazi. I'm so sorry that I outed you, by the way. I've been thinking it. I'm like, why is he always sounding like that? Go on, by the way.
Because we're from the county is from Ibeku in Umuahia, Abia State. I'm from also Ibeku.
Oh dear. So you are so close and it's same, wow.
Yeah, we speak the same dialect, everything, the same food, the same culture, everything is the same.
This is not even about dialect. I mean, the way you sort of break your talk, heighten them or slow. I mean, the tone, the tone, not even the accent or the language. No, is the tone is so similar.
Okay, Maiyegun, let me shock you a little bit.
A quick one.
I am from Ibeku.
Ibeku, yeah.
My Ibeku people, anyone that knows people that call Ibeku in Umuahia State, we have almost similarity because we speak the truth. We say it how it is. We don't mince words. We don't sugarcoat it. We say it exactly how it is.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah. So that is how. That is the issue. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah.
By the way, for today,
now,
please.
Yeah. Now, so coming to, last time I was talking to you maybe because I was busy because maybe where I run off, I couldn't get network. Because I was saying, if people are my people in Lagos State, whatever that is happening to them, and I think it was so harsh. A lot of people say that it was so harsh, but for me personally, that's my opinion. And I have no apology about it. That is number one. Number two, you see the last video you played now. The last video you played now about Matthias when he was lamenting about the bad road.
About the road, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say this. This is the truth our people doesn't want to listen. This is the truth our people doesn't want to accept and said Matthias is right. Matthias is really right, whatever he's saying. That's the reason why they are holding him today. In the world we are living today, nobody can speak the truth again.
No.
You don't say the truth because whenever you say the truth, you are a gunner, more especially in Nigeria. So because the guy was speaking the truth, now they hold him and they keep on talking shit about him. But notwithstanding, not knowing that you are holding Matthias today because of his stand, because he's standing on the way of the truth, because he's saying the truth always, and you are holding him. You can't hold the truth.
You can't.
The truth will always be there. Will always be there. So I am asking the people that I'm using this opportunity now to say, the people that are holding Matthias, I am not a member of his church, but I always stand for the truth. The people that are holding him, do they want to tell me if it's a Yoruba man that is criticizing Ebubo, that they will go to Lagos State or anywhere to go and arrest that guy and arrest him? Do they want to tell me if it's a Fulani man that is holding and that is criticizing them, they will go to Fulani land and go and arrest them. You know, the problem is that we Igbos, more especially we Igbos, we have lived the way of the truth and focus on the way that is the way of impunity because of politics. We mix everything with politics. We mix everything up. Everything. Instead of us to say the truth, we are just jumping from here and there, thinking that is going to save our nation. No way. Even the Biafra that we are fighting for, if we are not careful, the same shit will still happen. If we are not careful. Because nobody wants to accept the truth. We are crying that Nigerian government are dealing with
people easily get offended these days, right? Like people always want to what do you call it, react to things, right? To sort of win an argument, not to understand if there are actually differences that we look into, and it's sort of a meeting. These days, Austin, any small thing now, people are just like ready to turn it into a fight. And you'll be like, can't we even have a conversation? Can't we disagree?
No.
Like, let's disagree. Then let's begin to... No. They will declare you personal matter.
If any day you try personally, as we all love you so much now, any day you try to go deep into religion, the more you will get in your platform, even the people that is still telling you every day, Maiyegun will love you, you will be shocked. You will be shocked.
It doesn't shock me anymore. You know why? I'll tell you this. Why it doesn't shock me anymore, okay, is that usually when they want to say that to me, they usually threaten me. But maybe they don't see it that way. You know, when you tell me that, Maiyegun, you need to be very careful. Oh. Be careful of all these pastors and what you are saying. You know, you are not advising me. You are threatening me. Now, if people threaten me,
it's a very big threat.
I just feel like, you know what? Then I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it then. Okay? So I want you to show me what you have. So that is why most of them don't shock me anymore. But yeah, I've seen a lot.
Like you were saying now that you don't even know what to pray again. When he was in Africa, I was a prayer warrior in my church before.
Tell me about it.
I'm telling you, I am a prayer warrior. I can fast for 3 days, no eat, no food, no water. Before. But since I came to dry fasting, nothing, absolutely nothing. Lock my shop, go to the church, stay there and pray for no good. At the end, I remember this day. I'm sorry to take a little bit of your time.
It's okay.
I remember there was the time I bought car. I bought a useless car, second hand. So the car was not in a good shape. So I bought this car. I was in the church because I was a prayer warrior. I keep on praying, God, please help me. Let this car do this. Let this car do this. That car nearly killed me and nothing changed.
So
do you understand what I'm saying?
Forgot to replace the car.
I was
to replace the problem.
Forgot to repair the car. Forgot to repair the car.
Whatever is wrong, I believe it's probably spiritual. So
I was believing that madness. I was believing in that madness. The car nearly killed me until I abandoned the car on the road. I didn't even in Africa. I abandoned the car. So what I'm saying is, but since I came here, I can see now that what we are praying in Africa is what the government is doing here.
Yeah, already.
Now I can vividly say I don't know when last I prayed. I can't really tell. I don't pray. What am I going to pray? For God to give me God to give me electricity.
To give me long life. You know what to do to have a long life and healthy life.
You know
and
what
if you then see that you live long, you call it grace. I say, well, I'm grateful to God. I've got this grace. But you know what you are doing.
Exactly.
You know the routine of your diet, your health care. You know they have that.
Your diet, your sports you do, how you sleep, how you work, everything. Your mental.
So if you now live to 70, that one you know that one give you the room that you can live to 90 concept. But you know that you don't have to live to 90. But whenever it is time, right? You will say, well, I've got the grace. I'm grateful for how long. Then you can give it to God if you want. But if those things were missing,
that is it.
Now prayer warrior you go be.
You know, when my wife will say, let's pray, I say, pray for what I'm going to pray for.
I'm not mocking God.
Tell me what you are going to
pray for.
Because I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I mean? Like, thank God, let's be thanking God. Say, well, I like that. I can be thanking God. Oh, thank you, God, for everything. But pray for what?
I don't know what to pray. What am I going to tell him? What am I going to tell him? I don't know what to tell him.
And
because
it's not like
almost
we
everything
don't,
that
we don't understand that praying is to solve something. But when you realize that your main problems, or what you should call your problems, are just your normal routine, that you just play your part and everything is fine, then why would you spend hours asking God to fix a problem you can fix yourself?
Maiyegun, the problem of humanity comes from after God, that is the superior power, government. Government can elevate your problem 70%.
That's right.
Because the rest is for you. If government creates an enabling environment, you can be able to triumph. If the government fails to do their job, you are a failure already. No matter however you want to say it.
The system is already rigged.
You're already a failure. Yeah, you're not on the track. So this is the problem we have in Africa. We don't want to face it. All we face is we keep on fighting for no good reason. What that doesn't make sense. What you mentioned now, we keep on fighting, praying for the witches and wizards. I was watching a video this morning. I laughed to scoff. This bird, this owl.
Which one is that?
This owl. I don't know if you. If you check it in Google, you see OWL. It's a bird.
Oh, it's a hole. Okay. Yeah.
Get out. Do you know one community in Igbo land? I don't know the communities. I saw it on Facebook this morning. The all, I think, mistakenly came to their compound. Do you know the whole community came to start?
I saw it.
My Jesus.
I saw it.
The poor owl will be saying, "What is this?"
I saw the owl, right? It was actually in shock.
Yeah.
It was like that. He was hiding behind the corner, peeping out and be like, "What are these guys doing?" And I know that a owl can't really see well during the day, per se. But to them, now the prayer hold the hole there. And you know one thing, Osita, to make it worse for our people, right? Somebody is going to say, I saw a woman turn to that hole.
Exactly.
And you will see people there that will say, hey, it's true. Now one old woman turn to the hole. So let us burn her.
Exactly.
That is a lot, man.
Where our senses are no more working, we are no more reasonable. That's why sometimes when we come up and said Nigeria would be like a small London, I say how? Is it mentality? Is it mentality or infrastructure or physically? How is it going to be? How do you want to change it? Because our mentality is already messed up.
See, the only country in Africa that is supposed to be an educated country, and people still believe that somebody can steal their own penis.
And exactly. This is Christmas. This is December now. You are going to find out every boy's
believe that
everybody will be holding their penis.
Steal their manhood.
Their manhood.
In 2023.
You know,
you cannot win the argument. You know that, Austin. You can't win that argument.
Never.
You can never win. They will just tell you that, my friend, you don't know now. You don't know anything. They will take your prick and they will go. Really?
Yeah. Do you know when I was younger, you know these people that have this hunchback? The people that have hunchback, they used to say that they have diamond in their back. So you will see all these people are missing. Young people are kidnapping them, killing them, looking for diamond on their hunchback.
For diamond in their hunchback.
And they are looking for diamond under their hunchback. I don't know the kind of mentality we have.
In my own part, in our own parts, right? They believe that if you want to do money ritual, if you see a woman or a man with hunchback, you have become rich. So those of us who had hunchback in our family, we were locking them in our houses. They couldn't go anywhere. You get that? And if anybody wants to leave the house, you cannot leave them alone in the house. People were targeting them. I'm not joking. Same way you said they are looking for them.
Yeah, it's true.
Some are actually looking for them simply because they watched a movie that somebody with hunchback was vomiting money. You get that? They started looking for them. See, Henry. I said Henry. Austin. Let me take another call. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Take it easy, Baba.
You're welcome.
Thank you, man. So I have another caller, and I bet this must be Charm. Is that you?
Oh, it's me. Thank you so much.
Charm.
It's me.
How are you tonight or this afternoon?
I'm fine now. Yeah, afternoon. Just try to find somewhere quiet.
Of course, you might need to run to the next room and possibly put the chair, right? When you get into the room, you put your chair behind the door and put your back behind the door, or else they are kids, they'll find you.
That 4-year-old is so strong. We push the door.
At least you'll be there doing this. If they want to get in, you'll be doing this, pushing them back. Or else you probably will be going from room to room. So how are you today, by the way? Yeah, please.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for your show today. Well, not a show. I don't like calling it a show. For your
another sermon for the session.
For your sermon, your session, you know, always an amazing one. I didn't watch yesterday's one, so I kind of like caught up this morning, and it was just sad, you know, everything that was going on with regards to the demolition. I'm not sure, maybe I won't watch two. Maybe I watched yesterday and the day before, I can't remember. But I know I tried to catch up with them.
It's almost everywhere for the past 6 days.
Yeah.
Now, anyway, like it's everywhere. And they are still demolishing more.
Oh, yeah, they're still demolishing. And it was very interesting, the various, the different people who called in, you know, those who claimed, you know, that those who believe that it's directed towards the Igbos. And even today, I saw like an old video. I think somebody posted of the current first lady, you know, saying, you know, like how they're gonna chase the Igbos out of Lagos and take all their properties and things like that. You know, which also lends this.
That was like you see, that was like about 2019. Oh, I'll show you.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's resurfaced again. I know. I'll show people. Hang on the charm.
I'm a lọ gbé gbogbo àwọn òrìṣà Èkó. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní àwọn Ìgbò tó bá wọ́n nílé wa ọ̀tọ̀ ní ìlú tó sàlẹ̀ wa. Ó jẹ́ ti má rí. Ìgbò tó bá lè ti fẹ́ Yorùbá ká jogún ẹ̀. Ó máa lọ, a máa jogún yín ni. A máa jogún gbogbo Ìgbò tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí. Wọ́n lọ ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn. Ogún wa lẹ́ máa jẹ. A máa ṣe ìyíjà. A máa jogún yín ni. Agbára dé ìṣòro. Ìjẹ́ ṣe bá ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ yìí tó ẹ̀bà jẹ́ àwa kan bínú ọmọ wa sísá mi tún wá lọ bímọ fún Ìgbò. Ṣé kí n lọ kó Obieze wá? Obieze lẹ ti gbà bọ̀dé. Olórí Obieze lẹ ti gbà bọ̀dé. O tún lọ mú kámẹ́rà wá lọ lé ẹ̀ ní sí ẹ ti gbà bọ̀dé. A máa jogún yín ni. Àwa la máa jogún yín. Àgọ́ wa ló máa dáàdì ẹ̀ yìí.
Charm, is that the same video?
Yes, the same video. Complete.
All these Ronuku people, they don't get sense. Okay,
complete show.
Igbo, right? They always have this what do you call it? Erection. That seems to be fueled by Viagra of 8, by the way, right? The woman that is this Remy, she's from Delta. She's not from Yoruba land. Now,
can you imagine that?
If we follow their own trend, 8-full trend, right? Remy and her children, they will have no pim to say in that Lagos. But
exactly.
Go on, man.
If we continue to, but like you rightfully said, and I think you have belabored that point. I don't think there's anyone who, unless of course the person is new to your program, that all of this division is really a political tool.
It's just political.
They don't really believe these things that they are saying. But look at the show of shame of the people around her who are smiling and laughing, and you know, and that's just the way it goes, you know. Not understanding that these things will touch you.
Their laugh and their whatever is just to stroke the ego of the woman, to make her feel like she's like saying something.
Something, you know.
Anyway, we are going to inherit all the Igbos in this place. That's what she said.
But you know what? But it was done in the past. And that's the problem with a history that is not taught, right? When you don't teach history, then you are bound to make the same mistakes. That's not exactly what they said, but when you don't teach history, right? Or when you don't learn from history, you are bound to make the same mistakes, right? Yes. So, you know, they did it in the past where they took away Igbo people's properties and everything that, you know, belonged to them and gave them whatever they gave them. And today we are where we are. Okay. So the interesting things, a couple of things that we really want to touch on, and so that other people can call in.
Sure.
You know, when you talked about history. I don't know if you can remember one time when we were still talking about history as well. And I told you, if you break it up, it's his story. So his story would always be the version of the victor, never the vanquished. It will always be the perspective of whoever is telling the story. Never, like, take for example, if say me and my husband quarrel, right? And I'm going to go and tell my sister, see what he did today. I'm never going to put it in a way that will make me look bad. I'll always present that story in a way that will make him look bad. But you know the truth, you know. But the version that I give is my story. The version that the victor gives is the story that will be shared around the whole world, right? But we will never know the real truth. We will never even know the genesis of a thing, right? Because, again, like I said, history is told from the perspective of the person who is victorious, never from the person who is vanquished. Okay, so now this point of whether or not, you know, the Benin Kingdom extended up to Lagos or whatever, do you know what? It's something that you can't even get into. Okay, let me tell you something. My father, before he died, whilst we were young, when we were still little, he always used to bring us around. He would tell us stories. And I'm from Anambra State. Right. But he said, this is my father telling us, that we can trace our roots all the way to Benin Kingdom because they used to migrate at the time. And he said that his grandmother still used to use Benin, you know, terminology for things. Maybe like what she would call cup, is the Benin version of it that she would call. And this was his grandmother, right? And even he said to us that he was, you know, when he retired, he would write when he had time, okay? Because he's an economist. So when he had time, he was going to, before he died, that he would try and put something out there to show all this movement and that, you know, that's, you know, history. But he never got around to doing it. So the version I'm telling you is what he told us, you know, whilst, you know, we're kids, and he told us the story of the Biafra War, what he did, how he met my mom. So, you know, and how all of that information is passed down from his own generation, from his own grandmother to him.
That's where
right?
most of it is simply lost as well.
Exactly.
Where versions are not completely documented. So the pieces that are documented, there is always going to be missing parts and that's why you have historians to look for them. Look for those missing parts and give us something.
And give us something. Very, very true. Right. But I like the point that you made. That instead of looking at the difference, like now I've told you something. I don't know if there's somebody else who has the same, you know, story that my father told us, right? I don't know if there's anyone out there who has the same story. But the point that people need to take away is that, you know, our relationship with each other is intricate.
That
do you understand?
Actually strengthen us than what divides us.
Exactly.
If people are not looking into history to see who was right or wrong, or who is superior or inferior,
you know,
if we are not
exactly. But instead, let us look at the things that that bind us, that join us, the histories that, you know, tie us all together. Do you understand?
That's right.
You know, there could be the bloodlines are even all interconnected. You know, do you see what I mean? So that, you know, if you are fighting yourself, it's almost as if you're fighting each other. It's like fighting blood. Do you understand? You know? So,
like we don't have to ask that all of us should come together. No, that's not what it is. Like we all have our identities. We all have our ethnic what have you, and that is right. You know, which should have been like our nations and all that. But
true. I mean, for all intents and purposes,
you get okay.
Right?
Go on.
For all intents and purposes, I'm an Igbo woman. Mm-hmm. I was born Igbo. My village is in Anambra State and things like that. But at least I know that historically there is some that can be traced back to the Benin Kingdom. So, you know, I think the point I'm trying to make here is that instead of, you know, when you go to the comment section, I told you, like, it's like a field that, you know what, let me just leave people there.
You don't know your audience, you have a problem. There are some things that whenever I want to talk, in order not to be distracted, because every word I say will be picked by every party. I have different parties here, right? True. Everybody will pick everything I'm saying. So that moment, I just focus on my camera, deliver everything I want to say without having to look at the comments, right? But yeah, but the whole thing was to be passed, and everybody can easily say, I disagree with that. I agree with this.
No, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we are all going to have to learn something. Charm, and one of them is that when we pay attention very well, we see a lot of similarity, yeah? And instead of us becoming more agitative towards ourselves, towards ourselves, we should be more kind of approachable. Not with the mindset of, we are right or you are wrong.
Trying to find out, because for goodness sake, the truth is that even whatever version of history that you have now, like I told you, history is never told from the perspective of the vanquish. It's always told from the perspective of the victor, right? So when you already have that in mind, then you know that you're never going to get a complete story. Like even, somebody who said, I think somebody said, oh, people are still blaming the British. Well, everyone, there is some blame to go around, in the sense that there were things taken away. There were things taken. And funny enough, I was having this conversation with my 14-year-old. There are things, if you want to rob a person, right, destroy everything that the person can relate to the past, to tell them they were great before. Then it's easy for you to tell them that, okay, but when we met you, you guys were, you guys were naked and running around the whole place. You were nothing, But if historically they left everything that they saw, like the Great Wall of the Benin Kingdom, it was reputed to be even bigger and better than the Great Wall of China. But where is that wall today? The British did a very good job of destroying that, any evidence to that effect. Now, there are pyramids. They talk about the Great Pyramids of Egypt. But do you know that there were pyramids even in Igbo land and in some other places?
And I've actually seen images. Fair enough.
Thank you. Very good. They destroyed it to the point that, now when you see this,
have you ever been told that? No, that's not true. When you tell somebody that there used to be pyramids in Igbo land, have you ever been told that? No, it's not true before.
Oh, of course, but then again, you say, listen, Google is your friend. Search the same way you saw the images. I've seen those images as well. So when people come and say, oh yeah, the British didn't do this and that, when they want to rewrite your story so that it gives them a reason to say they are coming to help you, remember that whatever playbook that they're using now, they've used it before. Remember the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, right?
Right.
No, not Ogunigwe. That one is for Biafra. Remember when they wanted to go and
bomb of the Biafrans, but yeah, I don't know why that came to my head. When you said bomb, I said Ogunigwe. But go on anyway. Yeah.
So remember when the weapons of mass destruction, when they told the whole world that Iraq or Iran, I can't be sure now,
it's Iraq,
had weapons of Iraq, yes, they had weapons of mass destruction. They sold that story to the whole world. The whole world believed it, and they went there, and today there was any weapons of mass destruction.
And those who told us to believe are gone enough that they are not even talking about it anymore.
They're not even talking about it. Please, the only point I want to make so that other people can call in is that the strategies they've used today is the same strategies they've used in the past to dispossess you of your history, your heritage, your identity. And that is why we are stuck here, fighting stupid fights and letting these idiot politicians rule us. Like the other caller said, he said a lot of things about religion. And okay, one last thing, right? You see, Jesus didn't come here to tell you to be rich. He did not come here to make you wealthy.
No.
His mission is to send you back to heaven, right? And it's to be holy. That's what I've seen. So all of this, you're praying to God to be rich and all of it. You're wasting your time. You understand?
You are really wasting
because if wealth mattered that much to him, then Jesus would have come as a prince, which he is. He would have come as a prince, but he didn't. He came as the son of a carpenter,
like a son of
humble. So those are the things that people need to understand. That doesn't stop you from fighting for your right. It never has. It never should have. Nobody told you that. You people sit down and you say you read your Bible. You read your Bible for who? You're waiting for your pastor to interpret to you. Are you stupid? Don't you have a brain?
That's a big question. A lot of them don't. They don't.
You're waiting for them to give you a version of what they understand that suits the purpose that they want for you.
Exactly. Shaping.
What purpose do you want for yourself? Exactly. And people talk about, Peter didn't tell people to run around the whole place. What are you waiting for? The suffering, is it not reaching you? You're still waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. This is the problem we have. You want to be told when everything is there for you to do. You know?
Charm, thank
Let
you.
me go.
You've done well. At least I enjoyed this again as well. Okay, you have a wonderful the rest of the day. So thank you so much. So that's a Charm, one of our own. And I think, hello there.
Hello.
Is that Zeus?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I got it right this time around, man. How are you today?
I'm feeling a lot better. A lot better.
Bless
Mike,
you,
you're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks.
Even in my hospital bed, then I keep watching you, man. I'm laughing.
You should hear my voice at least, even at least once in a day. I'm so sorry. You are in the hospital, you just said.
Yeah. But I said even as I'm recovering, man, I'm watching you and I'm laughing. You're like therapy for me.
Okay, bless you. I'm glad to hear that you are recovering. So yeah, fair enough. And
okay, What I want to say is when we talk about religion, sometimes it's very sensitive, But when the Europeans came to Africa, they were not playing with us. They caused our tradition. They burnt our items.
They did.
They were not playing.
They
destroyed our tradition.
They never tried to, what do you call it, to preserve them. They came to destroy them because they believed those were us. And our people kind of, they let that happen at some point, didn't they?
And again, our politicians are still dancing to those same books because once we start looking into our tradition and religion, then we're going to see things that are really unites us the more than dividing us. And Obasanjo did also a disservice where he removed history from our curriculum. Because now everybody, like you always say, is history. They say when the hunter goes to talk about the stories of how great he is as a hunter, he will not talk about how the animals chased him and almost killed him, or how he was hiding from corners. But he's gonna
come shouting on the other hunters to come save him because another animal is charging towards him. Nah, he wouldn't say that.
No. So like there's a term say something because my part of Igbo too. Like if I look at my grandparents, my parents, our tradition and everything still go towards Benin.
And where is that part of Igbo land, if you don't mind sharing?
Okay, it's from the Uguta part. Uguta.
Okay.
Uguta. So we still have like the Benin's have what they call like the way they dress. Right. Even our chieftaincy title people, right. We still have that they carved iron steel that we use in greeting each other and making noise the same way.
Bronze sword.
Yes, we use it even till now. And they're gonna tell you that we came from Benin, from Benin to all these Ekaibos, the riverine area all the way, because Benin Kingdom actually spread to some parts of Yoruba land as well. It spreads. So it was one of the biggest empire then, back in our historical days.
Yeah.
So sometimes,
as they had at the time, you had what you call the Bight of Benin, which extended to as far as Port Novo in Benin Republic, as well as even Togo and all those places. You're right, riverine people.
Yes, sir. So I don't know why people should be angry. When they tell them that they have an affiliation to, like the Lagos parties as well. I know that the first Oba of Benin is Agrippa, which is he is a son of the Oba of Benin, and he was the first Oba of Lagos, and he was the one that named it Eko, which is like their war town where they train their military. Okay. So no. I'm just saying this is how like my own part of my own region, like how they were describing
how it
Echo
was
back
the
then.
story was described. But even the Beninese will tell you that there was never a time, right, that they had to wage any war on any part of Yoruba land
No,
or to start them. So that is their warriors will never have to come to Yoruba land. You know that?
My grandparents always tell us that the people that the Benin people met there were their Aworis.
The Aworis. So they met people there.
They are worries.
And indeed, from what I also read, by the way, it was listed that they named the spot they gave to them, the Oko or Eko. Okay. There's also part of history that said, well, if you met Awori there, they had a leader and his name was Olofin. The Ashipa that led the delegate of the Oba of Benin to that part at the time, they didn't come to fight war. They were looking for, you know what I mean? Well, anyway, I'll let you. I've said mine. Anyway, I'll let you finish.
So all I'm saying is that there is more that unites us. It's not supposed to divide us. Yeah, that's the story that the Oba was trying to say. Maybe he didn't put it very well. It's supposed to be something of unity. You know, we all have been together for I mean, more than 5,000 years. I mean, the entirety of Nigeria, as you call it. We all have been living together, and there's so many things that keep binding us together. Yeah, not supposed to be dividing us. Like if like, for example, now I have people that are married to Yorubas, Edos and stuff, and that's supposed to unite us. It's not supposed to be something that keep dividing us. So when some people are telling their own story, and if
when they tell these stories, they tell them in a way that they wanted to show the supremacy, and I'm like, it shouldn't actually be like that. If you don't want it to be for us to keep being divided, that we are superior than you. No, you are inferior to us. Oh, you are this, you are Osu. Oh no, you are this. You know what I mean? Like, if all those things happened back then and our ancestors participated in this or that, right? How about we begin to look into things that really historically connect us and unite us? Yes.
Connect us. Yeah, and that's all I'm saying, that we are all connected. And what the politicians are using this tool for is that once we are busy, just like they borrowing this book from the Europeans, once we are busy fighting among ourselves, they'll be busy looting, borrowing money, and doing all the stuff they do while we are concentrating on things that are irrelevant. And even when we're making all these points, we're supposed to be making it in a way that is supposed to be uniting us as a people, not to divide us.
Being,
I'm superior, I'm this, I'm that. No, that's what I want to call today for. Thank you so much, Maiyegun.
Thank you, Zeus. I mean, you've managed to help me sort of break it down even better, I have to say, and I hope you get enough rest. Please do get enough rest and get well soon too. Okay, so my own is, history. If you look at them very well, history, no matter what version, if you begin to read history, that is more like conqueror, slave, invasion, and all of that stuff. There are other things. You see all those horrible things that you read about history that way, right? There are other sort of a beautiful part of it that are not completely about that superiority and the rest of that, okay, or founding and the rest, okay? There are other things they did to keep peace, to keep unity and trade. I mean, the prosperity recorded in history. How did they do that? How did they even manage to communicate when they don't even speak the same language? How did they all those things, you begin to see the similarity. When you begin to look at your words, our words, and everything we share and all of that, you begin to see the similarity. These are the things we should be looking into, not the narratives that helps to tell some of the stories of who conquered who and who conquered what that probably never really had any value per se. Because I do wonder, I'm like, imagine all of us now. I mean, not now, back in the days, let's say 400 years ago or 500 years ago. in the places that you found today to call city and towns that are now established and all of that, majority of them never existed 400 years ago, 500 years ago. But there are larger places that existed, expanse of land and all of that existed. There are people move. You see people who move from this part to that part, this part. How were they communicating? How were they able to trade? How did they sign peace treaties? How did they stop invasion? How did they protect minority? All those things are the things that all of us should be investing in when you are reading history. Stop reading the history that wants you to hate another person simply because their ancestors, they did this or that to your own ancestor and all of that. And here you are, you want to make sure that you revenge that. And it fits straight into the political permutation of the criminals in charge of Nigeria now, or who have always been in charge of Nigeria. So if you're a young person reading history, do your best not to be prisoner of history. Or if you want to read your history to be able to argue who is right and who is wrong and all of that stuff, and you are ready to kind of stand on that, you'll be called a prisoner of history. Not somebody who actually learned from any history. It means that you have nothing to add to the same world that you now exist in. Just something you should think about. I have another caller, by the way. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Maiyegun. Good evening, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm calling from Paris. My name is Godwill.
Godwill.
But moreover, you know me as Erin Katabu.
Baba, I will stick to Erin Katabu then. How are you today, sir?
I'm very good. We talking about the history of the Yoruba. It's larger than what we think it is. For instance, I'll give you, when we are very small,
yes, sir,
they used to tell us a lot of stories. Like the story that is very confusing. For example, I will give you one. Like the snail. The snail and the lion go on a race. And the snail beat the lion on the race. Those are the stories they tell the younger ones that their brain haven't matured enough. But when you sit down and read about the story, it's beyond what we think. The story of Yoruba is not an ethnic you can put or push here and there.
No, never been.
The Benin people, they know the history. I've called once on your program. Then I said the Odudua, the story of Odudua, that it descended from heaven. I mean Yoruba man, a called Yoruba man to the call. That the Odudua descended from heaven down is an hidden story. When you want to go deep down to the real Yoruba, they want to tell you the real story. They will tell you Odudua was born in Ile-Ife and was buried in Ile-Ife.
That would be the story, I believe. The one that says he descended from heaven and all of that could be an illustration.
The Yoruba, yes. The Yorubas hide a lot of stories and history just because of the war. Because they fight war here often and often. And when you are talking about, yes, even the Oba of Yoruba, there is no Oba of Yoruba. From the ancient day, there is no Oba of Yoruba that doesn't go to war, including the Oni of Ife. All of them go to war. They are warriors. They are hunters. They are warriors.
Because that's what was
when it comes
then to survive.
For example, for example, I'll give you another example now. Look at you as an Ijebu man.
Yes.
You have two strong traditional ruler in Ijebu land. The Akarigbo and the Ijebu, the Oba of Ijebu, the Udales. Go read your history from that Shagam, the Remos. The Remos among the Ijebus. Remo Ijebus. They are not.
They are not Ijebus, but now we now call them Ijebu. Remo is different from Ijebus. But yeah.
Remo is different from Ijebu, it's clear. The same thing, when you look at the history of the Yoruba of Benin, as the Benin people, when did they started turning the history? They started turning the history to this Weka come from somewhere and this and that. How did they relate it? That if Oni of Ife, the Oni of Ife, if he pass out, they will have to, in the days, not now. It is the Awolowos that change a lot of histories. The Oba of Oni, the Oni of Ife, if he die, they will invite the Oba of Benin to come down to the palace of Oni. It's not a cook-up story. It's not a cook-up story. The Oba of Benin had his own seat in the palace of Ife.
So, which means,
let me tell you,
you know, I think the connection of Oromio to the Benin, the early Benin people, the Godo as they were called, could lead to that.
Maiyegun. Yes, Maiyegun. The Igodo and the Oromio. What year are we talking about? We are talking about 2,000 years. It's not even up to 2,000 years. That is the story of Odudua. The story of Odudua is almost, let's say, close to 2,000 years. Just the same thing, the way Jesus Christ was born. But in Yoruba land, we have the story that was hidden away from people. That we
so instead of telling us or putting it down rightly,
the real story. They are telling a lot of stories. Now it is now people are now going deep down to bring the story out. The story of Yorubas, is more than the Odudua that you people are relating it to. It's more than 10,000, 20,000 years ago of Yoruba, the history of Yorubas. Yes, and there are a lot of great historians. They have go and read their books. Go on Amazon. Go on anything. You see a lot of books that you can read on Yorubas. This is not a cook-up stories. Why are they coming up and saying that the Benin, if Benin are superior to Yorubas?
They didn't say that. That's what we are trying to change.
Wait, Maiyegun, wait.
See, how did the
Benin Oba have seat on this palace? Yes, they sit.
I agree.
So they should tell us the reason why he has to take a
breath on now. I want you to take a breath on now. Okay, I want you to take a breath, and that is the Oba did not say the Benin are superiors to the Yorubas. He never said that. Of course,
I'm not talking about the Oba. I'm not talking about the Oba. I'm talking about generally.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to now. I want to say, if you see people, okay, whether they are from Benin or they are not from Benin, who decided to take a swipe, do you get that now? To try to make it look like the Benis are superior to the Yorubas. That is completely off record. And somebody like yourself who knows that it's not true, yeah? Somebody like you who knows that it's not true, right? That's why I have this program, to make sure that when people look into cases like this, they look beyond who is right, wrong, superior or not superior. They look into that connection. You have pointed out many connections between the Benis and Ife now.
Yes.
And I want us to build on something like that.
Wait, Maiyegun. I want to wait. Let me add another thing. I'm very sorry, Maiyegun. I'm very sorry. Do you know that even the Lagos Island they are talking about, is not the only island that is superior. In that inside that lagoon, there are a lot of islands. We have been here about Snake Island, the Coconut Island, and all of them. There are bigger islands that have been consumed. That have been consumed by this ocean.
By the ocean.
That have been consumed by the ocean. Well, okay, now you are talking about the Aworis. The Aworis are they are the one that came late to Lagos. What about the Mobas? Yes. What about the Mobas? There are some tribes in Lagos Island. They call them Mobas.
The
Mobas. Yes, the Mobas. They are there
They are there before the
Aworis came down. Yes, they are there thousands of years before Aworis come down. The Aworis are the latest command. That's everything that
Lagos Island today.
They are in that same Lagos. So when and they are empires. their empire perished. It perished in the island, and they moved.
Right.
When they like this when we have this COVID, when we have COVID,
yeah,
that is a sickness that break out, and they have to move from that island, then down to the mainland.
The place, right? Just something like COVID, yeah,
yes,
pandemic.
In that ancient time. So what are these people talking about? That they own Lagos? What about those islands? The president, the government know what to do.
Something that already have
people. Okay, let them. What government supposed to do? What in this white people do where we are now? They bring a lot of money out, go and do a lot of what we call research and search. When you search that island, that Lagos island, you will find more than 600 islands that perish inside the island.
Yeah,
that is not existing anymore.
All of that, I agree.
Yes, climate change and everything. I'm telling you about Moba. Do you know who they call Mobas? The Mobas are they are not all of things.
So they are not part of the office, but okay, because all of
they are not part of. They are not part.
So that's why they said that.
No, they are not. They are not a worries. They are not a worries. They are not a worries. So when you start talking the story that you don't know, and you start mingle everything, that's why we are saying now that the people, the Lefe people, the world now have civilized. Stop telling her that Odudua. Well, you say shame to come down from
There's
heaven.
Nothing like that. That's bullshit.
Everybody will know. We are not fighting. We are not fighting war now. We should
fight. Mecca is not an Arabian nonsense.
No.
But they have actually
it's a nonsense. That is a nonsense story. It's a nonsense story. Odudua was born. He was born and buried in Lefe.
Sure, you get.
He was born and buried.
Our people have been fed with that nonsense that they believe that
it's a nonsense. I'm telling you, everybody hear me. I'm telling you, it's a nonsense story.
Nonsense, I know.
It's a nonsense story.
Nonsense. I won't tell my own children that came from Ilefe. God damn that nonsense.
Do you know that
Odudua came from Mecca?
Yes. Even in his day, he contested the Oni of Ife, the throne of Oni. He contested it.
He also fought.
And a lot of people fight him.
Chose it. That's what we heard. It was his father.
And during that time, he was blind. They blinded him. And it is the Moba. It is the Moba that helped him to restore his sight.
That is Odudua.
Yes, that is Odudua. I'm talking about 2,000 years. And you started coming about this new story. You are talking that somebody that just wake up and say he owns Lagos Island. What about the island that have perished inside the ocean? And we call them Moba. And they are saying everything up to today.
You see the why you
we are very creative, but we don't talk. But when you put your hand in our mouth, we bite the hand.
Or this way, when you start using it, not going to make them stop. No. We are trying to kind of make ourselves understand.
They don't want. If they don't want to stop, let them continue. If somebody started using dry gin to drink curry, that is when you start cooking. Come up with a cook story. We don't want fight. We don't want to use history to start continue.
Let me take
another to start continue. That's why we Yorubas, we that know the story, we have to keep quiet. All right.
Take another one.
Thank you, Maiyegun.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening. Okay. So my time is so up, but I will take just one more call, and all of us can just go to bed. Somebody said that that's one thing. It could be religion. It could be history. Do you see all of us trying to fight ourselves because of history that should have normally be indisputable history that we could all go there and say, that's what he says now. But I am so glad that all of us are interested and indeed chipping in what we think is our own views. Okay, I have another caller. Could that be African Wahala? Is that you?
Yes, yes, the African Wahala.
How are you tonight?
I'm very well. I'm so happy you picked up my call. And I know this is probably going to be the last call.
I know. I checked the time right now and I'm like, oh my God, I only took about 4 calls and that's an hour gone. That was like, no. So I'll take this one and it's going to be my last call. So how you doing, Baba?
Yeah, Baba, I'm good. I'm just going to end this conversation on a lighter note.
Please. Because
I can't really stress myself as far as these Obas and these traditional rulers are concerned. These guys they don't give a damn about us. I mean, how can an Oba be a billionaire? He made his billions of naira from these corrupt politicians, and he's an Oba over poverty-stricken people. I have no respect for that dynamic. That's garbage.
And I respect.
But yeah, on a lighter note,
for them. Go on.
My brother, I have no respect for none of them, from the east to the west to the north to the south. As far as I'm concerned, these traditional rulers, the religious rulers, and the political rulers, they all put us in this mess that we're all in together.
They are the member. They are the member of the establishment.
Exactly. So, on a lighter note, I was telling some of my friends in the comment section that did they know that a lot of these criminal politicians are pastors? And they didn't believe me. You know, you mentioned Remi Tinubu, she's RCCG pastor.
A senior pastor.
But there are many other guys.
She's a senior pastor.
I mean, she's a senior pastor.
Senior.
It's the same way, I think Obasanjo is a
these people, they can shoot you if you don't announce their title properly. Some will not even stand up if they call their name. You know, you have to say, I have to call the honorable pastor, Mr., Mrs., chief, doctor,
pastor,
this and that for one person. No.
Pastor, engineer, pastor, engineer.
You know, put distinguish. You say, he's not talking about me. That's not me. He's not calling me.
So the honorable. You have to call them honorable.
Yeah, Remi is senior.
That's senior pastor.
Senior pastor.
And at the same way, Obasanjo, if you like say that one a senior deacon. If you like say that one a senior deacon. Deacon engineer Obasanjo. At the time person say Rotimi Amechi na gospel artist. They don't believe me.
He's also a gospel artist, you're right, and the whole family gone. They will soon release a gospel album for Christmas. Those who don't believe you, tell them that if Owu never kind of pushed them not to do it, in the last 4 years, they've been releasing Christmas album. So tell those who don't believe in that they should look out for Amichi's family Christmas album for this Christmas. They go show them one. It's the gospel album.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, please support your senior pastor. Rotimi Amechi is releasing a Christmas album for his followers. Yes, and that's the same way. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you have an individual like James Ibori. You know, he's the senior pastor of one of these other churches. Now, normal level, it's normal. That's what
Alhaji Tinubu is also a deacon. Don't tell anybody. Remi is a deaconess. Alhaji is a deacon. If you don't believe me, put it on Google right now. You go see their certificates. Call your certificate. Remi has certificate.
No, I mean, that's just the situation.
But just so you know, if you are still looking for something to shock you, there are more.
But there is more. My brother, thank you so much, man. I just wanted to end this conversation on a lighter note. Peace and blessings, my brother. Thank you for your great work.
To you too, Baba. Thank you very much for all the support. Stay safe and keep it cool all the time. The African Wahala, a very good brother of mine. Indeed. Now, this is where we're going to draw the curtain. Okay? I was going to come here and start giving you all of, you know what I mean? Like all of the areas in Lagos and those who founded them. But make us see if I could try a little bit. For example, you have Isheri Olofin, right? It's believed that Olofin Ogunfunminire was the founder, okay? Who also sort of believed that he came all the way from Ile-Ife to find a place called Isheri Olofin in Lagos today. Ido, which is island, right? Is also believed to have been founded by Olofin Ogunfunminire, who is also from Ile-Ife. Okay, you have another place called where you call the Lagos Island or Eko today. They believe that the Aromire, who happened to be the son of Ogunfunminire, Idungoron, was the what do you call it? It's actually the founder, sort of, right? So you have a place called Ikate, areas like Ikate, Elegushi. It's believed that Elegushi, Kushenla, was the one who was farming there. It was his land. Therefore, it was believed that he founded the place. Most of those areas are places where people were farming, their settlements, until the other people came to join them, and then they expanded. So yeah, small places, you have them in Lagos, okay? You have areas like Iru, like the Victoria Island part. They believe that Oniru, Origefon, was, the founder, put it that way. All right. And they are also the descendant of Ogunfunminire Olofin. So you have Otto. These are the Aworis. When you say Otto in the mainland, so the founder at the time they said was Pau, Ogboja, Oloto. So you have Ijora, Orile, Igomu side, Kweji, Isikoko Ojora. These are the original owner of the place. And then you have Ajiron, okay, Ojomejo, Mogisho, which is a younger brother to Olofin Ogunfunminire, was said to be farming in that area that finally become Ajiron, where you have Ajiron and area today. Ikoyi, well, they believe that Onikoyi Adeyemi Efunluyi, who is believed to come from Oyo, were those who actually founded a space that is later called Ikoyi today. You have Ebute Ileke, which later turned to Lekki. Ebute Ileke, right, is believed to have been indeed founded by Lutu, the son of Labolo, grandson of Oba Alara of Ekpe. Ekpe is also very close, which is also part of Lagos State today, right? Then you have Ibeju. Agbedua was the founder of Ibeju. Aja, which is Aja of today. You have Olumegbon, Ogushemo, as well as Ojokpon. These are the owners of that area as far back as they can remember. Then you have the Oto Awori, you have you have Ojo. They believe that Ojo area, which is Ojo today in Lagos, right? As part of Lagos State, not Lagos Island though. So Ojo is used to be the land of the Eshugbemi, Erelu, and Ushu. Then you have Iba. Obviously, by area of Lagos, right? They believed it was owned by the Ayoka Onibaekun. Then you go to area of Mushin. When you get to Mushin area, right? You will see Odu, Abore, Aileru. These are people who are actually farming, and they are in the area of what is today now Mushin. Today, these are areas that are far away from the Lagos Island, by the way. Then if you go to Isolo, you have the Akimbaye, Alagbeji. These are the owners of that area as well. Then you have Ejigbo, for those who have been to Ejigbo in Lagos as well, right? So they believe that Fadu, Anemewon, Olojon, these are the owners of that area. These are farmlands, though. Like I said, they are not later they decided to just start giving themselves kings and chiefs and all that as they advance. You have a Kotun, you have Egbe, you have Oshodi Solo. Now, Oshodi and Oshodi Solo area of today used to be the land of the Olushi, Onigbesa, Agedegudu. That's that area. You have Ijegun, you have Igondo, you have Eleko, you have Eleko rather. You have Eleko, you have Ogudu, you have Ikeja. The Ikeja area was owned or still owned by the Amore Ikudenyibu, or you can say Ikudenyibo, sort of. Then you have Agudas, Rudlere, you have Itire. We have areas where they're like Ijebus and all of them. So you also have this. Itire area was believed to have been owned by the Ota Onitire. Then you have Ilasa, Onigbongbo, Irewe, and then you have Ikosiko Shofe area, which is area of K2 today, right? I know Ejo from Isheri. Those the hunter that was recorded to have kind of owned and started settled in that area far, long time ago. Then you have the Bonwo, you have the Ojokoro Ikare. Ikare. Then you have the Orile Agege Obele Odon Ikorodu. Ikorodu, there's the founder of that place, they said it's Oga from Ekpe. That's those who later settled in Ikorodu that became Ikorodu of today. Then you have the Ekpe itself. They said the Uraka from Ile-Ife was the founder of today's Ekpe, as well as the Isenyimodu of Omu. You have, they said they settled under a papoka tree. That site became Poka Township. Alaro, then you have Alaro is a woman who also part of those who founded today's Ekpe. Iyalaro, if you have heard about Odo Iyalaro, so these are the areas where they all settled, and they named those areas after themselves or after their own title. Like, anyway, I'm not going to keep you much longer, so to say. I wanted to look for the areas where the Jabus, the Jabus. Now, you have, areas like Angono. I think I've actually mixed them up. Anyway, you have our people who came all the way from Ijebu Day as well to also settle in some part of what today you can call Lagos. Go to bed. I will see you some other time. All right? But please like the broadcast before you go. Share it if you haven't. And subscribe if you haven't as well. Have a wonderful and good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pírẹsidó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní
ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ kùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.